Warning, the following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. We are live. So, welcome to Forest of Flesh, episode 77. It has been a little while here. How are you guys all doing? Are you guys all doing all right? I know it's been a little while, so just want to check in and see if everybody's doing okay. You guys do anything cool in the past few weeks? See any good movies?
Booked tickets to fly to San Jose.
All right. Well, that sounds fun. Man, you're always going on cool trips.
For real.
Yeah.
I'm now like pretty much out of money because I did this, but it'll be fun. So
You got a tournament or something?
yeah, the Flesh and Blood Worlds are in San Jose. So me
Nice.
and a friend of mine, and then actually a group of friends. So we have 7 people flying down, and we have an Airbnb for the weekend, and it should be fun.
Hell yeah.
That is awesome. I passed driver training at work. I never thought I'd be able to do a reverse serpentine in a box truck, but I can, turns out.
Serpentine. Okay.
Reverse serpentine. It is hard.
Nice.
It is not. It is way. The parallel parking bit was easy. Let me just put it that way. I got that on the first try. I passed by the skin of my teeth. I was touching the cone on the last exercise. I was touching the cone. Did not count as a hit because I did not move the cone. So I barely.
A little paint. It's fine.
I barely passed it. Yeah, didn't even like. It wasn't even brushing up against it hard enough to like scratch or anything. If it was like a wall, you know, it was like just resting on it. But yeah, that's the thing that happened. So, what happened previously on Forest of Flesh? I know you guys were like wandering around in the Fade Arc. This is the Fade Arc. Okay, all right. So check. I know one thing that happened.
We left.
Go ahead.
We left our raft at the river and started following a path that looked like it could have been a tongue or could have been some intestines. And we found a glowy skeleton, and somebody took a rib from it.
Yeah.
I think.
Lumaki did. Oh wait, I think.
Yeah.
I think took the rib.
Some of you guys did. So one of you is going to use it to try to make something, I think, or something like that.
I think we're going to use it as a light source, but I don't think it's putting off enough
glowy.
of a glow to be a true light source.
I think it was the other fairy who took it.
Oh. Was it? All right.
Yeah.
And then some guys tried to ambush us, but we told them what ambushing does and took care of them. And then Sha'ah wanted to take a rest in a giant skull.
Oh, that's
I think we did take a short rest on a skull.
I think Sha'ah wanted a long rest, but yeah.
Right.
That's probably where we left off, I think.
And then there was a whole lot of planning on what are we gonna do next.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, we found out
like my floating bridge idea.
The endless stairs or whatever.
Yeah. Endless bridge.
Endless bridge.
So
Infinite bridge.
Indigo has the bones from the rib and stuff from the creature.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't me.
I thought it was for Will.
I don't think I. No, I don't think I have it. I think somebody else
I
has
don't.
it.
Oh, I do. I do have the Great Club glowing rib bone. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you had it because you can't see in the dark.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think it only gave off 5 feet of light, so not
Hey,
real
that's
helpful.
still better than it. Still lets you see
It
the
will
ground
illuminate
in front of
me
you.
for them, so that they can hit
Yeah.
me easier. But
Of course.
They'll let you see flying creatures.
All right. So, why don't we just jump back in, shall we? This is the map you all were on. There's your skull boy. There's that skeleton glowing over there in the darkness.
yeah.
Yeah. And you guys were you took a short rest at this skull. And you were debating taking a long rest. Is that the deal?
Yes, so
Yes.
Yes.
I will take your word
I
for it.
assume everybody is in the skull. Could we all fit in the skull, or how?
I think Lumaki's on top of it right now. I think Lumaki's on top.
I mean, a couple people definitely could fit in the skull, right? Like, I think at least 6. Like, just looking at the squares, right? Like, so here, let's just move some folks out of the way here a little bit. Well, it's hard to say that these 2 squares are really like in the skull, but at least these 2 are definitely within the skull. These 2, I would say, are in the skull, and then these back 2, I'd say, could be in the skull. Like maybe there's like a little lift up where the skull like lifts up at the back and kind of elongates slightly, like sleeping on the bunk above the driver's seat in an RV. You know what I mean? There would be like room to lay down there, I think. So I'd say like at least 6 people. How many people we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 7.
Fang
Yeah,
was
Will
waiting
would be
for
outside.
Indigo to set up our floating platform, because Fang's used to Indigo doing that.
Okay, I was just checking for space. That's fine. You can set up a floating
Yeah.
platform.
No. I don't know if he was planning on it. It was just what Fang thought was gonna happen.
I will go set it up if I feel like there's enough space in the air for it.
Does it help
In
if
the air,
2 of us
it's-
are?
Sorry.
Does it help if 2 of us are small?
Yeah, I guess it's a fair
Probably.
point. Yeah, that would probably make enough
And
room for the
Tulpa
last.
is also small, or illusion small, but technically medium. I don't know.
Yeah, he is a medium creature. Yeah, technically.
But I think the ceiling is like 100 feet up, so you should be good
Okay,
on
yeah.
room.
So I'll fly up and set it up. The platform can be maximum 20 by 40.
That's pretty big.
I don't know if that actually like mathematically would be able to be held up, but that's how many 2x4s I have.
So 20 by. There's 20.
I don't know if 3 immovable rods and a bunch of straps would hold that, but I'd do as many as I felt were safe.
Turn D&D into a survival crafting game.
Yeah. Just gotta go get some
build in the
lash.
air.
Like tear apart some of these bushes, make some lashing. Yeah, you can totally do that.
I'm gonna advise Indigo not to tear the bushes.
Yeah, you guys have done a pretty good job of.
Pretty sure they're flesh corrupted.
Yeah, everything here is pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
All right.
So are we gonna say that this is after the short rest but before the long rest, or where are we picking up?
We'll pick up after the. We can pick up. You guys were settled on doing a long rest. We can just pick up after the long rest if you guys want.
That's the question.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Will keep watch as usual.
Yeah, we fade. I'm not gonna spring an attack on you during your long rest. We fade to the end of your long rest. You guys can refill your spells, your hit die, all that fun stuff. Let me make sure that our satyr friend has her spells. I guess you have control of her, don't you, Ferdy?
No, I don't. Only like moving her. Not.
Okay. Let's see if I can find her. Sheet thing. Where did I put her? Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, napped her like we've been afraid of.
Uh-oh.
I don't trust that Tulpa character.
There we go. I was like, that's why I couldn't find it. The image wasn't saved to her sheet. There we go. Okay. She good. All right. So we fade in on you all waking up from your some of you don't sleep. Most of you sleep. Waking up from your long rest here. Settled into the skull. There has throughout the night there's no change in like the light outside or anything, but over the course of 8 hours or so, occasionally you do hear whispers bouncing off the wall. Those of you who are staying inside the skull, you might think one of your occasionally be woken up by one of your party members like whispering for you to wake up. Then you roll over and take a look, and there's just the person on watch who looks at you like you're crazy if you explain what you heard because they did not hear it. There's just some odd stuff like that sort of take place inside the skull. Why don't you guys all roll a wisdom save for me?
With +5 for all of you.
Okay.
I assume I wouldn't get too far away.
Is that everybody who's staying in the? Okay. All right. All right.
Never mind. I thought that was total or for like everybody. I didn't realize it was for people only in the
skull.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys are up above, so
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah. So let me roll for Ankit. Ooh. +5, so 18. Kyo has a +5. Or I'm sorry, Lumaki has a +5, so that's 20. Tulpa.
Don't forget to roll, Tim.
Tim's staying up top, right?
Yeah, I'm above.
Yeah.
Not inside the skull.
Tulpa. Not good, Tulpa. Okay. It's better than Anki, let's be honest. Okay.
At 20.
Okay. So nobody suffers the negative effect of like it ruining their rest or anything like that. But Lumaki, at some point you hear that whisper sound, and maybe by this point you sort of gotten used to it. You're like, oh, that's nothing. You turn around to you like open your eyes for a second to look just in case, and you see blood just running down the sides of the skull that you're laying in, just like covering the sides. Like it's not like trickling down. It's pouring down all the sides at once like a waterfall. it's covering the people who are like laying there sleeping. They don't seem to notice it, but it's like flowing over their skin and soaking into their clothes and their belongings if they're like have a satchel laid down on the ground. And yeah, it's just like a torrent of blood that's just covering the inside of this this skull. You start when you see it, like it surprises you, right? Like it's a it's a little shocking. So there's that moment where you like blink your eyes and it's gone. And then like you get a little bit of like your you know, it's sort of that feeling when you see a cop behind you when you're driving. You have that sort of lurch of adrenaline for a split second. But you're fine. You realize it was probably just some illusion or strange magic. Nothing seems to be out of order. It doesn't interrupt your rest. You're able to go back to sleep if you need to, or just like wake up and take your watch, whatever it is.
Assume it's a nightmare. Then just look at Will and then go back to sleep.
Yeah. Okay.
At some point during the rest, can I cast divination as a ritual?
Sure.
So I get to ask a question, I think.
Yeah. Let's take a look. Your magic and an offering put you in contact with a god or god's servants. Incense and a sacrificial offering appropriate to your religion.
I don't have to do that because of the thing.
Because of the
The way that I get the thing.
What?
Do you want to DM me? Do you want to DM me?
Yeah. Okay, sure.
All right. Just so I know, like.
But I think the question is fairly simple. Hold on.
All right, let's see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think the question is just so just to recap, we were planning on Tolpa has informed us that there is someone in charge in a sort of fortified base area that we need to reach.
Yeah, like essentially you need to so this is like a entity that is sort of controlling the flesh reality warping effects in the area. Right? Think of it as like he mentioned it was like basically a commander for this Lulth that is leading their people. And in order to continue on towards their city, you need to sort of like turn that thing that is controlling the area off. which basically like you need to take this person out. Like you need to kill them or get them to leave. But they're probably not going to go without a fight. Yeah.
And we know that they're defended. They have things around them to defend them.
Yeah. Not only are they defended, but they're probably expecting you at this point.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of different like plans thrown out by different people before we took our rest, or probably like discussed right before the long rest. So Will is just going to ask whatever deity it happens to be.
We're leaving the door open?
What are our...
We leaving the door open for any deity?
I'm just not specifying what the deity is.
Okay,
but
all right. So
the question is, if we make a simple frontal attack, what are our chances of success? Without trying to do anything clever.
Ask a single question concerning a specific goal.
Kind of Will's way.
Within the next 7 days. Truthful reply. The reply might be a short phrase, cryptic rhyme, or an omen. The spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that may change the outcome. All right. And so your question is, if we make it simple, just like go in there and attack
Fight our
wildly,
way through them to get to him. Yeah.
how likely are we to succeed? I think the answer you get is likely, but it could come at a cost.
Okay.
Okay. And the sense you get is like, we're looking at multiple different outcomes of things. Taking your success here could cost you a strategic success later down the line, kind of thing. It's a strategic. It's like you're picking your battle, right? If you're not careful, if you're not careful and you just go in like, we're gonna lay waste to everything, we're gonna hack and slash and ask questions later, you could have a bad outcome in the long run.
Okay, so the possible losses, I don't get the feeling that that's referring to losing companions, but other intangible losses.
No companions here, no.
Okay.
Not anybody here. It's more... It's a face. It's a face you'd find familiar, though. The possible loss that may be.
I'll keep that. I don't know when I do it during the night, but I'll keep that to myself until the morning when everyone's awake.
Sure. We fast forward to the morning when everyone is awake. What do you all do as you wake up in this skull? The whispering. By the time most of you wake up, the whispering is ceased.
Did Will hear the whispering, or was it only people inside the skull?
It was only people inside the skull that would have heard it, and everybody could have heard it, but just not at the same time as anyone else. And Lumaki was the only one that saw the blood stuff going on.
I had the weirdest dream last night. The whole skull was covered in blood. You guys were covered in blood, but it only lasted like less than a second. It was weird, but then again, this place is very weird, so maybe it's just getting to me. Did everyone else sleep okay?
They slept fine.
But that's good.
Is Lumaki only talking to the people inside the skull, or is he talking to everybody?
I think it would be hard to talk to the people who are outside the skull.
I guess I meant, like, did you come outside of the skull and talk?
I would probably say it like first thing when I wake up.
Okay.
Maybe let's check outside. Maybe they're in trouble. I hopped up. Is it still the same as what, like the area that we're in?
Yeah. The area you're in hasn't changed at all.
Will is just doing a slow circuit around the skull over and over.
Okay. Where did you sleep, Will?
Will doesn't sleep.
Where do you have to rest or like?
I don't
Trance?
have to. No, I just have to not do strenuous things.
Okay.
Like
Where-
I could turn into a tree, but he didn't.
Okay. Where did you spend the majority of that time while the others were resting?
Just constant circuits around the skull.
Okay.
Probably slightly smaller, but either way, yeah, just walking around, keeping an eye out. It's dark. He's not using his lantern, so he's technically just feeling the ground. But
Okay. You're fine.
morning.
Hi, Will. Are you okay?
You get your rest.
Yeah, just a weird dream, but that's okay. That's it. So that's fine.
Should we retrieve the other two?
Sure. Lumaki's gonna fly up to the top, and if they're not awake, wake them up.
Did I notice if Tulpa slept? Well, I guess I can. Can you see in the skull? Did anyone notice if Tulpa slept?
I don't know.
I was in the skull.
Was anyone watching?
I mean, he was in there with the other three.
He was, yeah.
Fair.
Was anyone watching him?
Just
I'm
do a
not-
perception check to see.
Yeah, if you, yeah, 13.
13.
He laid down. He wasn't facing you. It's not like you were watching his eyes all night or anything.
Right.
Would Indigo and Fang be awake already when I fly up there?
Yeah, Fang's stretching like a cat. And possibly, if Indigo's still sleeping, kicking Indigo in the face in the process.
Indigo sits up and kind of looks around, a little bit confused for a moment, and then remembers where they are.
Did you guys sleep?
Yes?
Did you sleep okay?
Yeah, I slept great.
Why do you
I mean,
ask?
as great as you can on a platform like this.
Oh, because, sometimes things fall from the ceiling. I didn't think it was safe here. So it seems you guys like you're fine.
Indigo notes to self that he needs to roof.
Should we meet with the others?
Fang will hop into their bag to be carried down.
Indigo will fly down with Fang, drop off Fang, and then fly back up to disassemble everything.
All right.
He'll probably help Indigo out if he wants help.
Indigo will accept help.
So, Indigo, does Fang always like to jump in that bag?
And then Indigo kind of looks at his arms. I'm not the strongest, so it's a little bit hard to fly Fang up and down. The bag
I guess.
has some strange properties that make Fang lighter, or something.
Oh, well, I mean, I could have carried Fang down if they had
No, that's
asked
fine.
me. Okay. Well, okay. How did you get that bag?
borrowed it.
Oh, from who?
Um,
Do they know you're here right now?
I don't know if they know that we were the ones that borrowed it. We'll give it back eventually. We just needed it for a bit.
So you took it then?
We borrowed it.
Yeah, that's a fancy way of saying you stole it.
Well, they weren't there to tell us that we couldn't borrow it.
That's what robbers say.
Are you guys being quiet about this conversation?
Indigo probably started out quiet and is getting a little bit louder.
Because if Fang hears, Fang left money.
I mean, we left some money. We negotiated it, sort of.
How did you negotiate if they weren't there?
Well, they went to the back of the shop for a while, and we had some conversations about prices before, and we paid what we think was fair.
So you left something, but you didn't tell them you were going to take it.
That's right. We bought from them without them even having to make a sale. Did them a favor, actually.
Right. Okay. Well, you can do what you want to do. I don't know these people. I just wanted to ask. Are we ready to go? I'm not going to judge you, Indigo. I just wanted
We
to
didn't
ask.
steal the bag.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I didn't say that it was a bad thing.
Okay.
I was just asking.
because we didn't.
Okay, that's fine.
I just wanted to make it clear that we're just borrowing it, and we paid to borrow it too.
Right. Okay. Well,
So it's ours now.
but wait, it's yours, but you're borrowing it.
Yes. But
It doesn't matter. Let's just go, okay? Lumaki is like really awkward right now. They fly down to the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Okay. Will, what's the range of your sensing?
Only 30 feet.
Okay.
So it wasn't a massive range.
No, you're fine. You might be able to get something, actually. That's the reason I'm asking. Why don't you make a perception check with disadvantage?
I think I have advantage all the time, so just straight.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure advantage is off. Where is perception? There it is. 13.
Okay. Okay. So the sensation you get throughout the course of the evening and even into the early morning, like when people start waking up, the it's not that the ground and things don't move. Once you're like in one place for a while and you really get the sense of the area around you, it's almost like a breathing creature, like a heartbeat. If you ever tended to like a warm-blooded creature or something, yeah, you could. It's like the you could sense the rise and fall of the ground slightly in different places. A sort of pulsation that's going on, like a heartbeat, like a low thrum. And there are times when it seems, in layman's terms, sickly, or like something is wrong with it. Perhaps like there's times where the heart maybe occasionally the heartbeat sort of thrum ramps up for a period of time and then stops, as if like there's something going on elsewhere that you can't perceive that's causing, like it's like being on the belly of a great creature that has some sort of ailment. With 13, I think that's about all you really pick up.
Okay. I think we had a slight sense of that before, too.
Yeah.
But having nothing else to focus on, he probably would have been paying attention throughout the night.
Yeah. There's definitely like nothing that approaches you guys or anything. Okay. Tulpa stretches, looks over to the rest of you all, and he says, well, are you ready to continue on?
We
Yeah, I
decided
think
on
we're
a
good.
plan.
Well, we go to this place of theirs.
I think that we should negotiate with them.
Oh yes, Indigo's very good at negotiating. Lumaki's gonna wink at him.
Indigo nods enthusiastically, like this is a compliment.
Tulpa's looking at you while they say this. Will, what is your reaction? Just trying to like gauge your reaction. He also makes a face. You can roll an insight on him if you want.
We're on insight, but Will just basically like raises the brow at this idea. Oh.
Yeah, the look on his face is like, oh really? We're gonna make a deal with them. Yeah, and then he looks at you and he kind of sees the same sort of look on your face, I guess. Or at least that's how he chooses to perceive it.
We can try to talk, but I think if it comes down to it, we can just force our way in.
Well, if you have a plan, then I'll just follow. I'll support.
Hit him hard.
I'm good with that.
What would you like me to do about on keep?
So if we just decided out of character that Ankit is fairly useless in combat.
Means she is fairly useless.
Okay.
So do we put her down? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
She can throw some firebolts or whatever, but yeah,
Just a liability.
she's
Why do we have her?
Good question.
Because she was the leader
Sha'ah's
who
wife.
led
The group
she led
here.
some of us down here, and she's also Sha'ah's wife now, so you
Yeah, she
can't you can't just put her down.
Yeah, so she was like leading some of the survivors back in the Feywild Flesh Corrupted Town, right? She was like a medicine woman, satyr. She knew a couple good rituals that helped for the things that were there, right? Like she knew how to bring up the shield for the entrance to the Feydark or whatever. But yeah, she's not like some super high level. She's not Melora by any means.
Yeah.
Or Ishu.
Yeah, or Ishu. Yeah.
I can put her down. She's bad in a fight.
You're going to kill her?
Just saying.
Is that what you're saying? You're going to?
No, I'm just putting her down. And we know which direction we're supposed to be going already, right?
Yeah, Tulpa's able to
I'm
guide
pretty
you.
sure.
He's basically like he's basically let you know by this point, certainly, that this trail down here, which you can barely see the edge of because it's dark, but this trail leading off to the east, that's kind of the way you need to go. Whether you actually want to walk on it or not, I suppose it's up to you. You guys have kind
Or we agreed to let Indigo try and negotiate.
Tulpa says, If they see me with you, they will not negotiate. So if you wish to try that, I suggest I hang back.
How long can you hold your breath?
His head just quirks to the side. Like, what? Why?
I mean, Lumaki looks at Indigo. Well, I mean, Fang likes to ride in that bag, so maybe you can ride in it.
It's not actually that fun. It's kind of boring, actually.
Hey, I thought you liked the bag.
Well, yeah, it's fun riding in it sometimes, but, there's not much to do in whatever that space is.
It's okay, Fang.
Go
I
through-
don't.
Sad.
It's okay, Fang. I don't think Tolpa cares about boring, right? Tolpa,
Cares about what?
boring.
Oh. Yeah, Tulpa just kind of like squints at you and he says, no, I rather enjoy silence. Why?
See,
You could go through all of Indigo's things while you're in there. Keep you busy.
He makes a face like he's sort of debating it. Like, maybe that would be fun.
I was hoping to get a reaction out of Indigo. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, Indigo ignores you.
Actually, you can't do that.
If you're in there with the bag, can't you? Aren't you in a space with all the things?
You have to know. I think I think you have to in order. Well, I don't know if you're in the bag. But
That's to reach into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe each item that's put in there is in its own interdimensional space, isn't it? Or am I thinking of the handy haversack?
I don't know. They're both similar.
They're similar. It's up to interpretation.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't think he like really wants to like ride around in your bag, to be honest.
I don't know that he can actually fit with his true form.
You can keep Keat safe. Talking to Tulpa.
Not from inside that bag, no.
Less to try and hurt you in there, but you don't have to go in.
well, it was just a suggestion.
Yeah, he says, I just don't like the prospect of being cornered. Hard to tell what's going on the outside. And can't stay in there long, especially with someone else. He says, if I'm out here, I can always get the two of us away, if need be.
Okay, so then when we go to this place, how do we know who the person we're trying to get rid of is? Can you tell us what he looks like? Or maybe it's a she.
Most likely is she.
What does she look like?
Well,
Is she like the biggest and scariest one?
possibly. If she's showing her true form. I haven't met this one yet. Likely they'll be the one giving the orders. Perhaps even controlling the rest with magic.
So what, Indigo? Do we think you should just go up there and ask them to take us to their leader?
Good a plan as any, as long as we all stick together. If they refuse, there's always plan B.
Right. So I'll hang back then. Should I keep... And he looks at Ankit, and he says, should I keep this one with me? Safe. She, like, gives him a kind of a scowl. I don't need you to keep me safe. And she looks at Sha'ah.
Yeah, I can keep her safe, but when we're surrounded, can you do that thing that you always do?
Well, if he comes with us, there will be no discussion. We'll just attack. Is that right, Tulpa?
Most likely.
So he either stays or he goes.
How many miles is the walk?
Not far. Maybe an hour, 2.
It's close. Why not just stay here?
Not sure that's a good idea either.
He contemplates it for a moment, and he says, well, we were safe here while you rested. Another few hours, perhaps, we'd be okay.
But if we either need you or need to get to you, you'd be too far to reach.
He nods. It is a risk.
Why not get closer before you stay behind? 5-10 minutes out.
So you're asking him to travel like 10 minutes behind you, basically?
No, like to get about 10 minutes from our destination, and then they stay and we finish.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he nods, and then he approaches you, Will, and he says, may I talk to you in private, please?
Will's gonna look up at Lumaki over his head.
Do you not trust us with something? We're all friends here, right?
He seems to be thinking about it. Yeah. You can all hear him say this and stuff. He sort of like surrenders to the idea of just sharing this with everybody, and he says, "Fine. There could be someone or something at this location that I would like to keep safe."
Is it your mom?
His brow furrows, he squints his eyes. No, not my mother, but a friend who may be in trouble. They will be helpless in all likelihood. All I'm asking is that if you see them, they aren't hurt.
What do they look like?
Yeah,
Can you
you
describe
know,
him better than you did the other?
you know, Talpa. We're going in there to kill everything, right? You have to be more specific with your instructions.
Yeah, he pauses and he says, if it is there, if he's there, he will not fight you. They will likely have him in some sort of comatose state. He says, I can tell you what he looks like, and he starts to describe a person, a man with like human-like features, a little bit of scruffy facial hair, some sort of like wavy head of dark-colored hair, unkempt, sort of road-worn robes. why don't Sha'ah and Will make insight checks? Ankit also.
Okay. I'm gonna use my advantage on this inspiration.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Sha'ah. Okay. You succeed.
Is this only for them specifically, or can anyone?
It's
I
anybody
think
who
it's
is
a matter of who might
who's-
know them already.
yeah, who has seen this person basically.
I
Is
think
it-
I have an idea who.
So Fang-
God damn it.
Fang doesn't know them.
Yeah, you both succeed on the roll. It's definitely Vash that he's describing.
Son of a bitch. I was like, that description sounds familiar. Did I make that? Okay.
I didn't want to be too specific just in case you guys weren't able to deduce who he was talking about. Yeah. He's definitely describing Vash.
That description sounds familiar.
He like quirks an eyebrow and he says, "Does it?" Well, that's strange, isn't it?
I mean, there are lots of people like that. Human with baby hair. That's like a third of them.
It sounded like you
Why-
said baby hair.
Yeah. Why are they keeping him in a stasis?
Are they keeping him at all?
I think it's my fault.
What
Why?
did you do?
I can't remember the details of it. Maybe it hasn't happened yet.
Can you see into the future? What do you mean it hasn't happened yet?
He smirks and he kind of like laughs to himself a little bit and he says, "The past, the future, it's all the same here."
Oh, so then can you tell us what's going to happen to us when we go there? If it's all the same to you.
He's yeah, he says, "I don't know. I haven't seen everything. Just bits here and there."
Why?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know why
Nope.
things are the way they are.
You know, Topa, you're the most confusing person I've ever met.
Like pulling teeth getting information out of you.
I'm trying to be as forthcoming as I can, I assure you.
So kill everybody but this man
If
with the wavy hair.
he's there. He may not. I could be wrong. I just feel like I can sense him.
Can you
Will
at
seems
least...
troubled.
Do what?
I was just saying Will seems troubled, if anyone's paying attention.
Is there any way you can sense what clothes he's wearing? That would make it easier for us.
He said road-worn robes.
Yeah, he basically, like, what was Vash wearing? He was wearing, like, some dragon hide stuff, right?
Yeah, it's underneath the robes though, so you can't really see it. Maybe like bits poking out. But
Yeah.
he just wears, I think it's a purple cloak with a sort of brown and green robes.
Let me give...
That's what the picture has anyways.
Let me see.
What's his name?
Yeah, he's it's funny because Will, you've seen Vash on numerous occasions.
Many times, yeah.
And Sha'ah also. the description he gives is close, but it's like he's having a really hard time remembering, or maybe he gets some small details wrong. Like maybe he says the cloak is made out of one thing, but it's actually typically made out of another thing, or the color is slightly off. Yeah, you rolled a high insight a minute ago on him. It seems like he's having trouble remembering exactly. Maybe it's been a long time since he's seen this person, or he just hasn't really gotten a good look at him. Yeah, it's a strange thing.
Yeah, I took it more as Will has a suspicion he knows who it is, not necessarily confirmation.
Okay.
If your friend's not in stasis, since you don't know exactly, what's his name so we can just be like, hey, we know you.
Let me see here. Wolf, you wouldn't happen to know the language that the name comes from or its meaning, would you?
It wouldn't be. It would. I think it'd just be a common name. Like it, not common in that a lot of other people have it. Just a name in regular human common.
Yeah.
Doesn't. I don't know that it necessarily means anything.
Yeah.
I haven't ever thought of that.
Let me roll for. He can't remember his name.
And he's a good friend?
He thinks for a moment and he says, we've never met per se. I just have a sense.
If you never met him.
He stops for a second and he says, dreams. My people used to dream. It's been some time. But they meant something once.
Fang just looks confused.
If I see him and he doesn't try to interfere or harm us in any way, I promise to try and protect him.
Yeah, he nods.
Suppose you want us to bring him out if we find him?
Yes. That would be helpful.
Do what I can.
All right.
Wait, is this like a just in case thing, or are we actually trying to go find this guy?
I
think
think this
this
is
is
just
a-
if we run across him.
Yeah.
Oh, so then if we don't see him, then we don't see him. Okay.
Right. If he's not there, then no harm done. Well, I think that's decided.
Yeah, Tulpa makes a face. You guys can make an insight check to see. You know.
Oh, that was with advantage, but it's not.
Right.
All right. Wow. Okay.
I have advantage on insight?
All right. Yeah, you all pass. His face is like deep, profound concern, and it's in reaction to the idea that he may not be there.
Hmm.
Like almost like a, if he's not there, I don't know, like an unsuredness about the idea, like he doesn't know what he'll do if he's not there. An insecurity. So,
Shall we hoof it then?
do you guys hoof it then?
I think we hoof it then.
All right. Why don't you guys put yourselves in like a marching order?
We
Going
only
which
have 2 hours
direction?
left. I'm turning on the lantern again.
Going which direction? This way?
Sure.
I think this way. Imagined anyways. Although the road does go that way.
Can I ride on Will again?
I'm gonna
Oh,
pick
oh, me too.
All right. So, you all continue on for a couple hours. Eventually, you get to where Tulpa mentions that he thinks you're about 10 minutes out. He again asks if Ankit wants to hang back with him. She looks towards Sha'ah. What do you think, Sha'ah?
I think it's best. I don't want you to be in peril.
All right. So she will do that. All right. So they both find a place nearby where they can sort of get some cover. Maybe there's like a stone pillar, bunch of rocks, rubble, or something. Place that they can sort of hang while you all continue on. Continuing on.
Does the terrain change at all during that time? Or is it sort of more of the same?
It starts to become a little bit calmer. Like that main like sort of snake trail sort of begins to lighten and then thin, and then eventually it's just gone. And what you have is more of just like a walking path. The cavern, this sort of like flesh cavern that you all are in, I think the trail does like pass through a wall at some point, or like a smaller opening before it opens up into another cavern. It's more sparse. Like there's not as much as far as like growth goes. And the cavern you end up getting to is just, it's almost just like a big flat plain. You can't see very far. I don't think any of you like can see very far, given the darkness. So most you're looking like 120 feet ahead. I think might be the furthest someone can see.
Yeah, I can see 120.
But yeah, you just get this, once you're like 10 minutes or so out, you just get the sense like you're walking on for a while, but you're not seeing much. Like you're just walking across a flat plane of flesh. And the other difference here is it's probably more, as opposed to just being like a road, like solid, it's probably almost like walking on a big waterbed where it's like it moves like the surface of the sea, kind of, right? Like
Bouncy castle.
yeah, like a bouncy castle or something. Yeah, like there's almost like a tide as the ground sort of like ripples. Yeah, and you're walking over that, and occasionally there's like a bit where it's like like it ripples a little bit, and it's a little harder to keep your footing on one part for a second, but it's not enough to like throw you off or slow you down, really. And you all continue on. Who can see the furthest in the darkness? Not Will.
20.
You got 120.
Yeah,
Lumaki?
not me.
Yeah, from Stone Rune.
Okay. No, Shaw's got the 10-foot blind sight, but you have dark vision also, Shaw?
I don't. Oh, wait. How long is that thing? I remember I did it before the charm, but I think it's gone by now.
Okay.
So I can't see them.
What about Indigo? You don't have any dark vision, do you?
I don't have dark vision.
Okay. Well, Lumaki it is then.
Mhm.
Eventually, Lumaki, you would be the first to see that up ahead of you there is a growth. It's flesh. This that looks like a honeycomb building of some kind or construction. Like there are openings that you could presumably walk into. And there's also like wear on the flesh, like footpaths, kind of like where people have been going in and out of this thing. It's 120 feet away, so you're pretty close. And yeah, you see from the angle you're coming at it, you see probably at least 2 openings, maybe 3. If the building is symmetrical, you could probably guess that there's another opening over on the other side. You also
There's
see
other signs of life.
there's like wear on the ground, like something has been going in and out of some of these openings, but they're like the one of them you can see that's on like closest to you on the side that you're approaching from. It's very small. The opening itself is like very small. Someone your size probably have to squeeze through it. But you're coming at it from sort of like an angle, so there's 2 other openings that you can see that look a bit wider, but they also like slink back into darkness. This thing like pulses and breathes, and there are some of those like red bushes around the outside of it, and you can tell that it's breathing because every time it pulses, the air that comes out of it brushes those bushes and makes them like swing in the breeze slightly. There's also a few of those spine things, those like claw things sticking out of the ground that are sort of around the big 2 entrances at the front. And there seems to be some kind of hole like centered in the front too. I think you're probably not close enough to see what's down in there, but you can see that the edges of this hole is probably only like 10-15 feet wide. The edges of it are like stone, like the flesh around it just kind of gives way to like rock. And there's darkness. You also see like one of those big flesh eyes grown like into the ground nearby. And other like signs of wear, as you put it. Make a perception roll.
Can I tell if the eye has seen us yet?
Yeah. Do you have advantage or no?
Nope.
Yeah, you can't tell if the eye has seen you. It looks to be like scanning the area, like it's almost like patrolling. And every once in a while it looks back at like the main building. It can't move around, but it's like looking around the area.
Right.
The other thing you see as like signs of wear is like some of the skin, like some of the flesh itself around this building seems to be slightly discolored. You can't really tell why, but it looks it's just slightly discolored from the rest, like in patches, like in these weird little patches. And you see 2 of those like spine claw things that stick out of the ground. There's 2 of them that are really big. One of them is sticking up from the other side, so you just see like the tip of it. The other one is on the side you're approaching from, so you can see it a lot better. And there seems to be like a like you see movement around the base of it. It looks like a bunch of corpses like laying at the base of this thing, but they're all sort of moving. Like not even just moving, they're kind of like writhing. It's hard to tell, like if you can't really tell if they're trying to get away from it or it looks like they might be stuck on it and like can't get away from it. You can't really get a good enough look at it from this to tell exactly what's going on, but you just see like what looks like a lot of bodies around the base of one of these really big spines.
Right.
So, let me know.
That sounds unpleasant.
Yeah, there's nothing entering or exiting this thing except for that's air as it sort of like pulses. Yeah, I guess let me know when you guys want to get closer to it, or if you want to like flank around it, or what you want to do. And when you get close to it, I'll pull you onto the map.
You should always be prepared for a fight, Sha'ah.
I want to see closer. So I'm gonna summon my mask of the astral self along with my arms.
Alright.
So I could see 120. Oh, it's visage, right?
Is it just dark vision, or is it like true sight, or what is it?
It's you can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a
Devil
distance of 120.
Out to 120. So yeah, you walk up beside Lumaki, you activate your mask, so maybe we see like that come over your face. Yeah, you can see all the same stuff. Make a perception check. Natural
15.
8 is a 23. Alright. So you get a little bit more detail than Lumaki does. Those discolored bits of flesh around the outside of it look to be the close, because you've worked with clothes and like sewing and stuff like that. So maybe that's what causes you to realize what it is. It looks like stitched skin, like really tightly stitched, like a patch. Like if you had a hole in a coat, you would sew a patch in like this. That's what it looks like. So maybe it's some kind of repair, like if there was damage to the ground, and they had to repair it, so they stitched some new skin or some dead skin over it to like cover the hole or whatever. That's kind of what it looks like. The spines, the one that you can get a really good line of sight on, the bodies that are like around the bottom of it, they're not trying to escape at all. Matter of fact, they're climbing over each other to try to get closer to the spine. They're also naked. And you can hear them, what is the best word to use? Undulating, moaning. Like, not necessarily like a pleasant sound. It's kind of like a sickly, wailing sort of. But they seem to be like pushing each other out of the way and crawling over each other to try to be closer to the spine that they're sort of laying around. A lot of them got wounds on them too, so they're like bleeding and stuff. They're covered with their own blood and waste. Yeah, so like one gets closer, he climbs up onto the pile of the other ones, gets closer to the spine, reaches out and touches it. And then another one crawls up behind him and like shoves his face down and out of the way so that they can be closer to the spine. And then they're like hugging on it. And then someone climbs up and steps on their face and like pushes them down so that they're on top of the pile closest to the spine. And it's just like this, that keeps happening. Like it's like endlessly. The ones that get pushed to the bottom eventually come out the bottom and have to like work their way back around. That's sort of what you're watching. It's pretty gross. Just in case that wasn't obvious.
I think we should walk around this.
Yeah.
Is there a path?
Isn't all this right in front of a building?
Yeah, this is right next to the building. Matter of fact, like right on the other
Yeah.
side of that spine you're looking at is one of those small entrances. That it looks like a tight squeeze for you too. but you could like squeeze in there. That's just one of the entrances. There's two larger ones up towards the front, the quote unquote front of the building, where that sort of hole is. The other thing you might pick up on the 23 is that there's like some spider webs in the area. Just something you might notice. It looks like spider web. It's pretty thick and big for a spider, but
Should we alert her that we're here?
I'm pretty sure Tolpa said that they knew we were coming. Have known for a while.
Yeah, but do we want her to come out, or should we go inside her lair?
If we can't negotiate, we gotta get rid of them. I think we gotta go in either way.
How about her minions? What if they attack?
Will shrugs.
How far are we from the walls?
like
how many feet?
120 feet.
Oh, okay.
That's how far you can see. Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna amplify my voice to 200 feet. I will tell them, like, Lolth, we're here.
All right. So, what are you using, like thaumaturgy or something, to shout louder? Or
It's
you
part of his Zidge thing. It's
Oh,
at the
okay.
very end.
Oh, okay. Alternatively, you can amplify your voice. Okay, so that all creatures within 600 feet can hear you. Okay. All right, so you're just like, "Hey, Lolth, we're here," and then there's a pause. And then the entire structure that you're looking at, it pulses really big, and then when it quote unquote exhales, this yellowish gas kind of cloud like comes out of all the orifices you can see. You do notice that there must be an opening on the other side also, because there's some of that yellow gas that comes out of there. And it just sort of like hangs in the air as a cloud for a moment. And then there is another like sort of like breathing in as the building kind of like swells up slightly, and then another exhale, and you see a woman walk out from the entrance, from the main entrance, closest toward you. Let's see here. She's wearing leathers, dark looking leathers, maybe a chitinous material. On her face, she's got like dark elven features, so like grayish, purplish skin, pointed ears, white hair. There's like what looks like a little bit of a blood stain on her face, but no wounds. But there's like a little bit of a blood smear, as well as like some what looks like dark ink smear from her eyes. Well, it looks like it's probably makeup, but it's pretty metal, we'll say. Yeah, and she like walks out of the entrance, and she's like looking toward you all. She kind of like walks 10 feet or so from the entrance, and she looks to her right, and there's one of those spines sticking up right beside her. This one doesn't have a bunch of the bodies around it. And she sort of like stretches her arms, and then she leans up against this spine and sort of stares at you all. And then she like holds out a hand like you may approach. Kind of deal.
Hey, she wants us to approach.
Hey.
The eye turns and looks at you. Obviously. It's like watching you, and then every once in a while it looks back at the lady who just walked out, and then it turns back towards you.
Did someone come out then?
Yeah, there's this lady covered in blood.
Let me see if I can show you what she looks like. She's not really like covered in blood by any means. It'll make sense when you see the picture here. Let me pull it on this screen so you can also see what her token looks like.
Is she waiting for a fight or?
He seems nice.
Yeah, that's what she looks like. So it's not like she's covered in blood, but she's definitely got a little bit of like red smear like on her face, along with the makeup. She's also got like a scar on her forehead that kind of runs down the middle of her face.
Can I insight check her?
Sure.
I just want to know if she wants to kill us.
That is. Do you have advantage on that?
Yeah, with the visage.
Okay, so that's a 29. Let's see.
From 120 feet away.
From 120 feet away. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. She. Let's see here. She looks. She's not like grinning, like I can't wait to kill these things or anything like that. She looks kind of irritated. Guess it's my turn to take the trash out kind of look, right? Like she's reluctantly doing a job she's not really interested in. That's kind of the look she has on her face. Like this is a waste of time, kind of. Let's see here. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else you might get here. You do probably get the sense that underneath that sort of sarcastic and bored exterior, there is like a devilish nature about this person. Like, even though they're not covered with blood, literally, they're, you get the sense that this is a person who's probably killed many people. If that's not obvious by like the corpses that are crawling over each other, like a few feet away from her.
Are you lol?
What language are you speaking?
I would use my undercommon.
All right. So you say, "Are you Lolth and undercommon?" And she looks at you and she rolls her eyes and then shakes her head.
Her.
And then she says back in Elvish.
Yells back.
Yeah, yells back, yeah. You may approach. State your business.
Hey guys, what
Looks
is
like
our
you're up,
business?
Indigo.
Does anyone speak Elvish?
Oh,
I
yeah.
speak Sylvan.
Actually, I think I do.
I speak Elven.
I think
I do
Sylvan.
speak Elven.
I think Sylvan and Elvish are meant to be the same thing, aren't they?
No, they're separate.
No, they
No,
aren't.
they're not.
Okay, never mind. Yeah. So she says that, and then she probably repeats it in Undercommon. But if you don't speak Undercommon, you're out of luck.
Great. I told him what she said. He wants to know our business.
I will use universal speech.
Yeah.
You think we ought to maybe approach so we're not yelling?
Maybe.
And it'd be a whole lot easier to hit her if I could see her.
I think
And
that's a
that
good
I'm
idea.
saying quietly.
Okay. Lumaki's gonna point Will in the right direction while he's on his shoulders.
We'll move forward.
That way.
Like 60 feet.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Stop at about 60 feet away.
Okay, so
Halfway.
So that she's just in the edge of the light.
you're all moving forward.
Yeah.
All right. And what is your layout? Are you laid out like you are on the screen right now?
I
Oh, I'm-
think so.
If she's over
Me and-
there, then
Me and Fang are on Will, on top of Will.
yeah, it'd be like this.
Okay. And carrying 2 other players at the same time doesn't encumber you, Will?
Lumaki is small, I think.
Yeah.
Or are you?
Yep.
And Fang is medium, but light. I mean, technically, it should encumber me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right.
Do you think we should be in a line? One time this dragon hit us because we were in a straight line. So I move a little further.
I don't know why everyone's on top of me, but
Well, I asked.
You
I guess
did.
if we're close enough for Fang to be able to see, then I can fly up in the air, maybe like 20 feet above you.
Fang is AFK for a moment. All right.
I'm back, actually. I just got back
Oh.
right when you said that.
Oh, okay.
that figures.
Okay, so you're flying up. How far did you say again, Lumaki?
20 feet above.
20 feet above. Okay.
So I guess that makes it 25 feet
But
from the ground.
Okay, you want to be
Oh,
25?
this again?
Yeah, I know, right. How many feet do you want to be off the ground? 20 or 25?
25.
Okay. You're
Oh,
20
actually, make that 10, so I'm still within Will's aura.
All right, so you're 10 feet off the ground. All right. Okay, so the rest of you, are you standing about where you are compared to Will right now if you're looking at this lady?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, only
Wait.
she's 60 feet from Will.
gotcha.
Fang would
Fang
be
is
on top of
Will,
them.
so
Yeah.
Yeah, and Fang is still on the shoulder, I guess.
So you all approach by 60 feet. She's going to make an insight check to see, like, are these people about to attack me?
Will very obviously has his shield and warhammer, like, at the ready.
Yeah. but-
Fang
Of course,
also
it's a
has
melee
their
weapon and he's
bow.
60 feet away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Fang also has their bow out, but not like aiming at her, just like ready just in case.
All right. Let's see if she can deduce if she's about to get attacked, I guess. 21. I don't know, Will. Are you about to attack her? Do you want to make a roll? Persuasion, deception? What do you think?
Will is more ready to defend.
Okay.
Will is expecting an attack, not necessarily ready to unleash one.
Yeah, she pauses for a second. She turns and looks over her shoulder towards the opening. And then she kind of like, her chin goes up. She's still looking at it. Her like chin goes up, almost like she hears something you don't hear. There's another pulse as like some more of that yellow gas kind of sprays out. Some of it in your direction as opposed to the other entrances.
Is it getting close to us?
It's getting close to her.
Okay.
Yeah, it sort of like moves, hangs in the air over her. So like it sort of like spreads out at first and then it kind of moves in your direction because it's like, and it gets like over the top of like above her head a few feet and just sort of like hangs in the air like smoke at a rave concert, right? Like but it's yellow and gross looking.
Does it smell like anything?
Do you want to try to give it a whiff? It's 60 feet away.
From 60 feet away, yeah.
So it's not that strong. I mean, is it strong enough to be able to be smelled, or not? I'm missing that.
Probably not from here.
Okay.
Not unless you like rolled really high or something. I might give it to you then. but it's not really like in the air where you're at.
Then never mind.
Yeah, it just sort of like drifts in the air above her and just sort of like stays there. Yeah, and she looks up at the sort of like mist, and then back to you all. And
Once Will comes, oh sorry,
go ahead.
Once Will comes to a stop, quietly, he just says, "Indigo, looks like you're up."
Indigo will fly up above Will, not right next to her, but above Will, in the same space, and say 10 feet above Will. 10 feet between my feet and his head. Sorry.
Yes.
All right.
So you're right next to
we've
me.
come to bargain. No.
So you like 20 feet up? Or are you 15 feet up?
I think he's 15 feet up. If he's
I'm
10
15
feet above
feet
my
up.
head.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure I know.
And I will. That we have light, right? I can see your lantern's on.
I have the lantern out. Yeah, 60 feet, and she hasn't. That reminds me. The lantern reveals anything that's invisible. And she's in the light at this point. Is there any change to her form or anything?
Link the lantern so I can see exactly what it says.
I don't have it linked.
Also,
but
while
I
we're
can,
at it, is my rapier of warning me of danger right now?
Link the rapier.
Visible creatures and objects are visible as long as they're in the lantern's bright light.
Well,
Bright light, 30 feet. Never mind.
Invisible creatures and objects. There's no invisible creatures and objects within 30 feet. So there's nothing like sneaking around you that you don't see. Yeah. The thing I will say is like the lantern probably makes that sort of mist that's in the air look a bit like it reflects some of the light, I think. So you probably see it a little bit clearer. Okay, let me take a look at your weapon. This magic weapon warns you of danger. You have advantage on the initiative rolls. In addition, you and any of your companions within 30 feet can't be surprised, except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep. Weapon magically awakens you and your companions if any are sleeping naturally when combat begins. I mean, probably not. Like she's not going to attack you, so I would think no.
All right, so not intimidation time.
Yeah, she's not she's not waiting for you to get close enough so that she can attack you. So I don't think the weapon would be glowing.
I'll ask her using universal speech. What is your name? Who are you?
Yeah, she pauses for a moment.
I can't understand what she says back, by the way, so someone who speaks Elvish is going to need to translate.
So yeah, she says
Did you
back.
say that out loud?
Yeah.
Well, I'm speaking in common when I say this to her. She can just understand because of my.
Right, but I mean, do you tell us that we need to translate?
Probably not. I'll say it after she responds and I don't understand her. If she responds.
She does respond. Sorry, I got multiple things going on here. What was your question? Again?
Who are you? What's your name?
Oh yeah, she says my name is Befoa.
Can you spell?
I look at Lumaki.
I'll type it. I'll type it in the chat. She says it in Undercommon. She says my name is
Befoa.
Befoa.
Her name is Befoa, she said.
What are you doing here?
Working. What are
I'm
you?
just going to assume that Lumaki is translating unless
Yeah.
You say otherwise. Working on what?
It's not your concern. What brings you here?
What brings us here? We're just travelers on a journey for some safety. This would be 25.
Okay. Hang on a second. Let me look at this other thing. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Just gotta look at a thing. Oh. Okay. Here, let me I gotta whisper somebody.
Oh,
Do with that information what you will. You can tell.
Okay.
The okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. Back. So you rolled a 23 persuasion, and you're like, yeah, we're just travelers.
25 because I have unfailing, or not unfailing. Where is it? Silver tongue.
All right. Ooh. So you're like, oh, we're just travelers, and then what was the other thing you said?
We're trying to find some place where we're safe.
Yeah, she says.
We're looking for safety.
She says, safety. Unlikely to find that here. Where have you traveled from?
From here and there, up and down, all across, really. How about you? Where are you from?
Yeah, she just looks at you like, you're not from here, are you? Like, she's giving you that look, like.
Tourists.
I did say we were travelers.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, from around. It's like when somebody says, oh yeah, I lived in England, but they didn't. So you're like, oh really, what part of England? And they're like, the place with the river, that town that has a church in it. Like, oh, okay, all right. She takes a step forward and she says, are you lost? Perhaps I can help you find your way home.
No, not lost necessarily, just in search.
Of safety, you said.
Safety, yes.
What from?
I look around at the cavern of meat and say something about the complexion of the ground doesn't seem quite right here.
Yeah, her brow furrows. She looks kind of insulted. And she says, there's nothing wrong with the ground here. This is home. It provides sustenance, security.
Oh, of course. I do wonder, how long has it been like this here? How long has it been pure?
As she grins, when you say the word pure, she kind of smiles. And she says, it's always been this way. How could it be any other way?
I will take a chance here, I think. I'll make a persuasion check and say, But it hasn't always been like this. Don't you remember? This is a 25 again.
All right. Okay. So this look goes over her face when you say that. And she says, she like takes another step forward. The mist hangs over her head ominously. And she says, "My little friend, I think you are confused."
Perhaps you could enlighten me. I'm not saying that the way that it is bad. It's just that I don't think it always has been like this.
Yeah, she kind of like cocks her head to the side and she says, "Are you suffering from some sort of ailment? Some magical incantation that's caused an issue with your perception?"
I think I see clearly still. How about you?
Um, hmm. Hmm. Yeah, she shakes her head and she takes a couple steps back towards the opening. And she says, "If you need safety, you may enter. We'll provide it." And she just like walks into the darkness, or like she backs up into it, I think.
Into the
Can I make an insight check
door.
on that?
Yeah, into the door. Yeah, make an insight check, sure. I will make a roll in
Wait.
secret.
Wouldn't it have to be Lumaki since he's translating?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I could read body language.
You could read body language, so you can
Yeah.
make a roll with disadvantage, Indigo, because you don't speak the language. You're relying on.
I will.
I mean,
go ahead
he
and
could
roll.
also hear tone and facial feature or see facial features and stuff.
All right, 8.
Sorry, guys.
Let me see what she rolls. She rolled a 28.
I look around to the group. I think we can trust her. There's something wrong. Oh wait, hang on. I just remembered. She'd be able to hear what I'm saying because
Yeah.
my speech is understandable. I'll have to word this differently. I think that we can trust her, but we should still proceed with caution. This area is dangerous after all. I think that she may not have the same perspective on the fleshiness of this area, but I think that we could get along.
Yeah, that's
There was no chance of finding that man that Topa wanted us to look out for if we don't go in anyways.
Maybe.
May as well take this opportunity.
Talk out loud, FYI.
You guys gonna approach the place?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but I'm not going first.
All right.
Yeah, we'll go first. Fang may want to hop off the shoulder.
Why?
Because I'm going to be the first one in, and you'll be with me if you're on the shoulder.
That's fine.
All right.
Okay, let me pull you guys onto the map proper here. Copy.
For the record, because Will knows what he knows, doesn't care what Indigo says. He doesn't trust this lady.
Yeah, makes
Also-
sense.
Yeah.
I noticed Indigo didn't put the emboldening bond, but I think Sha'ah said he's giving emboldening bond to everybody. So you
We
would
do
have also
everybody
had
now?
a plus D4
Yeah.
Oh,
on all of your ability checks.
Okay.
For
So
10 minutes.
So she stepped back into the darkness, right? You guys have proceeded forward. The mist that was hanging in the air above her, you walk forward 60 feet, you walk underneath it. Nothing happens. But as you proceed forward, because you have to go forward like another couple feet probably, it sort of just hangs in the air above you. It almost seems to either follow you or the displacement of air from you walking forward maybe has pulled it forward slightly. But yeah, there's this mist hanging in the air above you guys. Just be aware of that. I'm gonna
Still with,
go ahead.
is she still with us?
The lady you were just talking to has stepped inside.
She was ahead of us.
Yeah, she was ahead of you all. She has
We
stepped.
don't know where she is.
Yeah, she stepped inside the structure, the dark structure. I'm gonna put you guys on the map and let you see what you see here. The first thing that's gonna happen is I'm gonna have to check some distances. So there's that. The map is dark. So nobody can see anything for some reason. Let me make sure that Will is emitting light. Did you have your
Yeah, he isn't.
You have your lantern on, right? It's 30 bright, 30 dim?
Yep.
Okay, still can't see it for some reason.
I think it's working now. Except for, yeah, there must be a dead end there.
Let me refresh.
But I can see up to 60 here.
Oh, I know what it is. I didn't put the audience view thing on here, so let me get that. Here we go. There's that thing. Copy. Let me pull that over to this map.
So we come through a doorway? Is the doorway here?
No, the door. You haven't gone through the doorway yet. You're still just outside.
Oh, it's this.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Oh, okay.
That's the main, one
Got
of the
it.
main entrances, right? Here we go.
And the one that she went.
Yeah, that's the one that she went in. Okay, so a couple things. Those of you who can see this over here, let me check the distance. Everyone
You should be able to.
Yeah. Okay, if you can see that spike, I need you to make a wisdom save. Right now.
+5, everybody.
You're gonna have to roll pretty high.
Hopefully I made it.
19 with Will's bonus is good, but it is not enough. So
Emboldening bond also works on
Saving
saving
throws.
throws.
okay, one
20.
just enough. All right, so you're fine.
Lumaki is screwed. What about
Lumaki.
Indigo?
Lumaki, do you have your weapon out? Are you holding it in your hand? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right, you drop it. Your hands go slack. Are you still flying in the air right now?
Yeah.
Okay. How high up are you?
I'm within 10 feet of Will.
Okay, so you're 10, 15 feet up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, you drop to the ground. You take a bit of damage.
Could somebody try to catch him before he
I
lands?
don't know if we're really expecting it. It's only 1d6.
Yeah, it's only 5 damage. So you drop to the ground, you take some damage, and you are compelled to get towards that spike by any
Oh
means
no.
necessary. You gotta join those bodies, man. You gotta get there, and you gotta be the closest one to the spike.
Okay.
Does he start crawling or does he get up and run?
Well, I mean, you probably would get up and run, I'd imagine.
Is this a charm?
It
Just
is.
FYI.
It is a charm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have
Let's
an
see.
item.
Appears to be fashion from Dragon Scalp. Okay, you gain +1 bonus to AC. Can't be charmed or frightened. Choice. Okay. All right, you're fine then. If you can't be charmed, you can't be charmed.
Oh, and I would have had an
Rewind
advantage
time.
on my roll as well.
All right. So you guys are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel for a moment like this spike is like you don't drop your weapon, you don't fall to the ground, none of that stuff. You feel for a moment like like the urge to join the pile of bodies around the spike, but you like shake it off.
That thing is weird over there, guys.
Really? That's the one thing that you're pointing out. Weird.
The bodies are like moaning and like undulating as they're like pushing each other down and trying to
Are
come
you
up.
are you sure we want to go in there?
And a sorted gotta, don't we?
Okay, well.
Hey, are
we-
there more of those in there?
Who are you
Can you
asking?
ask
She's
them?
gone.
Yeah, Fang is asking Lumaki to ask.
What's
Call out
your passive perception's pretty high, eh, Fang?
25.
All right, you might see something.
Hey.
You step forward there.
Oh.
Let me see. Let me check its hidiness, I suppose, is what you would call that. Its hidiness is
I think Sha'ah's passive is also 25.
I don't think Sha'ah's at a place where they'd be able to see it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
Well,
see.
technically, I'm in Will's space. So.
Oh, well, if you're in Will's space, then
Riding the tree shoulder.
then never mind, because I don't think.
I mean, Will is moving forward, so it'll happen in a second.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Well, I'll show you the thing, and you can just decide. Do you see the thing?
Oh,
I see.
we all see the thing.
I see.
Yeah. See legs.
Spider legs.
Yeah. They pull themselves back as you approach the opening. You see these giant spider legs in like a room across the hallway, and they kind of retreat from you, pull themselves back into a corner as you begin to approach.
Continue to keep my bow ready just in case it wants to come at me.
There is another one here. I don't know if you guys can see that one yet.
What was the DC to see that? Will has a 21 passive.
19.
Okay.
Bye, Indigo.
Yeah. So once Will steps in, he like looks each direction and goes, "Which way?"
Where did Balboa go?
Indigo, are you hanging out outside?
Indigo will go in.
Sha'ah, can you call out to her? We don't know where she went. I thought she was leading us.
Balboa, show yourself.
I'm gonna divine sense again.
Yeah, I mean, you probably would also sense that that cloud that's floating in above you guys is also the same thing.
Same thing as her?
Yeah.
Great. Also, is it like all over inside here, I assume?
No.
The cloud?
No. It actually
just right there.
When you guys
Okay.
start to enter, I think the gas that was sort of like hanging in the air floats over you and starts to make its way further into the structure. It leaves you.
Yeah.
Somebody cast gaseous form on themselves.
I think you probably know. I think you probably know what it is. Wolf.
As a player or as a character?
As a player. You're
okay.
pretty smart. You're pretty smart. Guy.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess
yeah,
if anything's gonna happen, we step inside.
Yeah, you step inside. Nothing happens immediately. You're just sort of like looking at this area. You see this chamber across from you where there's this clearly like some giant spider-like creature in there. Like you can see the edge of it. Maybe you see you actually see it. It doesn't like rush towards you and attack you.
Is that a dead end?
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. So the path. Let me pull the audience eye in here. See if we can find it. So they can see too. There we go. Here, I'm gonna put that over here, so that the audience can see the inside of this building. So there is a path. Let me pull out my arrow. There's a path that goes this way and sort of like goes at a 90-degree turn around that wall. You see where I'm pointing now? Can I do that? So over here.
Yeah.
Over here. There's a path that goes, it goes that way, and then it takes another 90-degree turn to the right. All right. This room here is a dead end. Like, it's just a small little room with a giant spider in it. You can also...
I can see over here.
Yeah. So there's another room identical to that other spider room, and then there's an entrance that goes back outside, and then the same thing over here is on this side. There's another identical shaped room, and probably a path.
That is a good question. How high is the ceiling?
Probably not very high. I would say at most 20 feet. I feel like I'm being a little bit generous.
Yep.
But the hallways, some of them are pretty narrow. Like like this bit over here, it's a single block to squeeze through.
All flesh.
Sorry.
The rooms are all flesh.
Yeah, everything is made out of skin, bone. Probably like got some little hairs on them. There's probably bits of like spider web along the ceiling, hanging here and there. There's probably some cobwebs and stuff. Might even see like the occasional like prey wrapped up in a spider web and just like tucked into a corner. Can't really tell what it is. Some of them are probably like the size of a person.
Is there any response when Sha'ah calls out?
Yeah, sorry, what'd you say, Sha'ah?
Before show yourself.
What language did you say to?
Undercommon.
Alright. Yeah, so someone, you see that lady walk out from here, and she says, what, are you lost? It's right this way. And she takes a step back in.
Do we see the
following.
spider?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fang at least would have pointed it out if you didn't. But I think you have the same passive as me, so.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay. You comprehend, verbally communicate with beasts. All right. You cast Speak with Animals.
I ask, like, do you guys eat?
You ask the spider if they eat. The spider... Do spiders technically eat, is the question? I mean, they consume blood, right? So they
liquefy their prey and then they basically drink it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Inside their cocoons.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
No, they never
man-shaped-
eat. They only drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's man-sized cocoons around this spider or in here, and you're asking if it eats?
Yeah. I don't know, like, spider life, I guess.
Yeah, the spider twitches, and it sort of like peeks its head forward, and you hear back. Is it time to feed us again?
Hey, the spider's asking.
And it's sort of like
I don't feel comfortable.
it sort of like
I
chitters
move back.
with anticipation. Yeah, you start to move
Wait.
back, and you hear the spider say, "No, we're hungry. Feed us." And it, like,
Ask it what it eats.
it like moves. It moves towards the edge of the room, and it does that thing where it like spreads its front legs like on the opposite corners of the opening, and like presses its mouth and mandibles towards the opening, so that like basically it's like taking up that whole opening into the room, and it's like opening its mandibles. It's like you're gonna push prey into its mouth or something. And you hear the spider like, "No, I'm hungry. Feed me, please."
I push one of the cocoons close to it.
Can you? Or are they stuck?
Yeah, they're probably like stuck in corners, like
Oh.
upper corners of the ceiling and stuff.
Can I throw one of my good berries on its mouth?
Do you have
Yes,
any?
feed it.
Do you have any just on you, like? Or
I
Yeah,
cast
he
it in the
cast it.
morning.
He cast it earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does give sustenance to anything, right? Like it's a magical.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
For a full day too.
Yeah, so you toss a good berry at it, and you see it like, as soon as it gets in the air where the mandibles are, they just like crush it. And then there's like this sort of confusion as the spider like retracts back into the room. And it's like, "Oh, what is that taste? It's horrible. What is that?" And it's like, "I'm strangely not hungry now." Ugh, and it's like coughing and stuff. And it's like, "No more food.
Kitty spider.
No more food. Your
That
food is
spider's
your
cooking.
your food tastes funny. It's not very good."
Hey, at least that won't fight us anymore. Let's follow before.
What he's never mind. Yep, we'll start following. I mean, I'm probably staying like 15 feet behind her, but following.
All right. The yeah, you see that yellowish gas sort of like float down the hallway ahead of her. Let me see here.
Yeah, we're not sure if this worked before, but in common, Will is going to let everyone else know that the gas is a fiend as well.
Oh,
It's a
buddy.
fiend.
Oh, buddies.
It's a thing, creature of some sort. I mean, we're just being led into the belly of the beast. What could go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. So
Literally.
as she pauses here, and she like looks
And
into
I would
this
pause
room.
here.
She looks into this room, like she kind of gives like a knowing look into that room. Then she looks back at you all, and she says, "This is the main chamber here. It's just this way." And she takes a step in.
Question really quick. When we were passing the cocooned bodies, were they fully cocooned or was there any identifying bits of body?
That's not where Vash
Keeping an
is.
eye out for... Okay. Yeah.
They're fully cocooned.
Alright.
Yeah, you don't see any like...
That's a lot of spiderwebs.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys get to that
And
room.
an elder brain.
Yeah. Not only that, there's a little bit more here that I haven't revealed yet. So, there's this lady standing here. You have the lady that sort of escorted you in here. There's also another lady in here. The gas is gone. There's these two ladies here, right? Yeah. And she's basically like, so there's these webs that are sort of like connecting over the ceiling. They're connecting between these spines. in the floor there is this brain that is pulsing across, and it's just like sticking up out of the floor. Let me. Where's our viewer eye thing? Let me find that so they can see. Here we go. So here's where they went, viewers. They went down this tunnel here, and then they went through here, and then they ended up here. Basically, they're going into this room. So in the room, there's this lady here. She looks very friendly, right? That's what she looks like. Then, of course, there's this one who you were speaking with earlier. And then there's this one. And they're being clearly subservient to, this one, right? They're being very much like, okay, we've escorted you in. This is our leader. It is time to have that discussion. While that is going on... now that you've been shown the main hall, as you might put it, Sha'ah, your perception's pretty high.
Along with Fang.
Yeah, and Fang. You see and hear someone coming from that direction. And also from this direction. If you can see them, you can see them. If you can't, you can't. And they do have some backup. Just there's something else behind them making chittering sounds. I'm sure you know what that is.
A very full spider.
A very full spider, yes.
What is it saying?
It's like yes, I'm coming at your command. I think what it says, the one that you fed says, yes, at your command, priestess. And
Oh no.
Right, yeah, like it's following the
This is fine.
lady there. Yeah. So what do you guys do? You step in this room. There's spider webs all across the ceiling. Like, this is clearly like not good.
Do we
Right?
still
Like,
see the green cloud?
the clouds are gone. There's no more cloud. Once so the cloud entered this room ahead of you all and ahead of this lady. And then once you all enter, you see no cloud. But you do see this person that you didn't see before, and of course this person.
I'm gonna divine sense one more time. I assume it's the same thing, right? Also fiendish.
Let me check. No, actually.
Okay, I think it does fiend, fey, or wait.
This one is not a fiend.
You link it. There you go.
It is not a celestial
fiend or undead.
Yeah, it's also not an undead.
Okay.
So from this one, presumably their leader, you don't get that same feeling.
Indigo, I think you're up again. Don't go in. Stay behind me.
Is the ceiling any taller in this room?
It's maybe a little bit.
Probably smaller.
Yeah, it might actually be small. I'm gonna say 20 feet. I'll leave it the same. 20-foot ceilings.
Okay.
You have in the wall.
Yeah, it's that square he's in, right? It's just the square he's in. It's fine. I would say maybe you can only be in this square or this square, maybe. I don't know. I'll let you decide. It's not super important. You're flying anyways, right? And you're small. So he's like glitched through the wall, like he's playing a video game where he's like, I need to see what's in that room, so I'm gonna glitch the camera through the wall so I can see what's
You
in
could
there.
fly above Fang if you wanted to.
Yeah, no one's actually in Fang's space right here, Indigo.
No, Fang climbed down.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea. Indigo, you there?
Tim?
Yoo-hoo.
Sorry. Brain just spaced out for a moment.
It's all good. So I like, you might not be able to just stand in this square because
Okay.
so I'm just letting you know. So I put you like this square, should be okay. But I think Will wants you to do something. So he's like,
You need to stand somewhere where you can see and speak. One of these two. Probably this one. Fly up above Fang.
yeah, okay, you're up above Fang. All right, gonna get a little closer. The brain in the center of the room is just pulsing, like with the rhythm of like a heartbeat.
How long has it been since our original conversation?
A few
Like-
minutes.
2 minutes, yeah.
So I can still talk. Okay. I'll fly a little closer. And I'll kind of motion Lumaki to try to come closer with me.
Okay.
You should have stayed outside.
Yeah, you
And then
can't.
I'll
Yeah, you're above Will, right? So yeah, you can do that.
I'll look to her again and say, "What is this place?"
Yeah, you're looking to the one you were talking to earlier, or
Yeah, the one that I was talking to earlier. I can't make the new one understand me without using a spell slot.
oh gosh. So yeah, you're like, what is this place? And she turns.
Let's play telephone.
Yeah, she turns to the leader, to this one, and gives her a look. Right. The leader like shakes her head, and then she starts to, and then she turns to her and she starts talking to her, in Elvish. So they start exchanging words in Elvish, and basically she's like, he wants to know what this place is, and the leader's like, you can tell them, I suppose it might be entertaining. So yeah, she turns back to you and she's like, it's a outpost of sorts, forward operations center.
An outpost to do what?
Mostly to keep things under control in the region. To keep things pure. And she like gives you kind of a grin. And
Oh, of course. I'm going to look around the room. Is there any place where there's like another exit out?
no. Like in this room, no.
Okay.
Like this room is a dead end. There's no holes in the ceiling. Like you're in the center of the you're like in the vault of this building, basically. Like you'd have to, even if you broke through the walls, there would just be more walls on the other side.
Good to know.
Yeah, like you're in the heart of this thing. Like Wolf said a minute ago, you're literally in the belly of the beast.
Yeah. Has brain in its belly. That's normal.
How tall is the building from the outside?
If the ceiling's 20 feet up, probably 20 feet.
Yeah, about 20 feet, give or take. Being
Did we go downhill to get here?
It was just all flat to get here, right? Like it was a big, just open area, open cavern, right? Relatively flat. Like the ground still does pulsate, like it's like you're standing on the surface of a sea. Like there's still like
Okay.
waves and stuff, but It kind of seems to be coming from this room, right? Like the pulsating that's going on with the building seems to be coming from the brain that's in the ground here. And there is like you do sense like air being pulled in and out of this room and that kind of stuff going on. But ceiling height, yeah, like from the outside, probably 20, 25 feet. The skin could be a little bit thicker on the outside for like you know, defensive purposes. Like the walls might be thicker on a castle on the outside.
So, what exactly is the story on the brain?
Get right down to brass tacks. All right.
Just like, so what's the deal with the giant brain on the floor? And they exchange looks again. This one gives in like she says she basically translate what you said to Elvish, right? And then this one gives like a sickly smile, like, oh, well, I'm gonna enjoy this kind of smile. And yeah, she looks back. She looks back at you and she says, "Oh, you're so lost, little lamb."
Actually, Sha'ah is the lamb, and I pointed at Sha'ah.
She takes a step forward and she like holds out a hand to you, like you're up in the air, right? So she's like holding a hand up, and she's like holding her hand up, and she's like, "Here, why don't you take my hand, calm down, and we'll explain everything."
And that's the main lady saying that, right?
No, that's the one that you're talking
Oh,
to.
that's.
Before.
Oh, okay.
I will.
Just
I
waiting
will
on the
ready
word,
my
Indigo.
action to dimension door to the entrance if I think that I'm in extreme danger.
Remember, if you don't use it, you lose the spell slot.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Is your sword like lighting up?
I mean,
Yeah, is my weapon of warning going off right now?
What does it do? It detects. It gives you an advantage on initiative, right? So like if combat
and you can't be surprised.
You can't be surprised, right? So if she
I
was,
think we're already on edge.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But it doesn't like what I'm saying is it doesn't glow when there's evil things around you. Like that's not what makes it glow, right?
I don't think so.
Like it glows just before combat starts, is what my understanding of it.
Okay, I'll glide down and say okay. I'm not going to take her hand, but I'll glide down and say okay. How about you explain it to me?
Yeah, she says. She looks dejected, like upset and insulted that you didn't take her hand. So this kind of like look comes across her face. Make an insight check. 15.
You have a D4.
You do have a D4?
Oh, yeah.
19. Okay. Yeah. She, she was making a play. You're not sure what it was, but she was trying to get you with something, and she has this look on her face like, oh, you didn't fall for it or something.
I will continue talking to her and act like I don't know that I might potentially be in danger here.
Yeah. This one over here is watching.
So can you tell me more about the brain?
Yeah, this one over here is watching you very intently. she takes a step back towards the brain, sort of like gestures to it, right? And she says, this is what keeps the area pure. We just maintain it. And then she says something in Elvish. She's basically repeating what she just told you in Undercommon. And then this lady like nods and grins. And
So can it think for itself?
yeah, she nods. And she says, "So, are you going to tell me now where you're from? Because you're clearly not from our world."
To be honest, I don't remember home anymore. Something about this place has made it hard to remember anything before.
They all trade looks when you say that. They all exchange looks with each other. And she says, "You know, I've heard that from others like you. Usually, a sight like this would absolutely terrify them."
I'm not afraid, as with you, the more I see this, the more natural it seems, the more right it seems. I don't see anything wrong with this. It's just a place. An important one, but just a place. Nothing to be afraid of.
So you're like,
Lumaki has to translate to me, but I can speak to them.
Okay.
I think we're just assuming that Lumaki's doing the translating.
Yeah. It's just nothing to be afraid of. It's just a place. This is like what we see.
Hang on, I need to close my window. There's music being played outside.
Yeah. She says, "Oh, you're not afraid?" She looks at the other ones and then she like translates for them in Elvish, and they kind of like giggle.
Sorry, I was up closing my window. I didn't hear the last 10, 20 seconds.
So basically she went, "Oh, you're not afraid?" And then the other two laugh at you. Basically that's what happened. And then she turns to you and grins. And she like takes a step toward you again, and her face begins to melt. She starts screaming. There's like this sizzling sound as her face like begins to putrefy and burn, like acid that you couldn't see was just draped all over. She starts screaming.
Can I make a performance check to appear brave in the face of being freaked out by this?
Yeah. Might be. Yeah, performance would be fine. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Okay, 16. Let's see how she does.
D4.
Yeah, you do have a D4. Performance would be charisma, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna give this a deception roll.
Mine? Or
20.
my roll or her roll?
Her roll. Her roll is deception.
Her roll is deception.
So 24. So you're like, "Yeah, I'm not afraid." She's like, "Oh, you're not afraid?" And they laugh, and then her face starts to burn from acid. She's like screaming in pain as she like starts to reach towards you, like she's like reaching out for like help. And the acid starts to burn away her skin so bad that it starts to like, you see the inside of her skull and organ in her face melts back. It turns the skin yellow as it starts to peel away and expose the bone. The whole time she's looking right at you and screaming and like begging for your help. But eventually her form just changes into something else. So here, let me get rid of this token and give you the token that it changes into. So
If it looks like a yellow melted candlestick.
yeah, I thought you might know what this is. Yeah, so she turns into a what is called a Yawklaw, a demonic entity. She turns into, and it looks something like this. It's a big, basically like yellow, almost like a tree-shaped cylinder. It's deformed. It's got a couple like tentacle or like appendices coming off of it, and one large central eye. And it's basically just like a giant pile of yellow slime in the shape of like a cylinder. And it's gurgling horrifically. It's like its side parts open to like speak and make noise. It's just like gross looking and kind of awful. The other two start laughing as she does this, and that's when we go to break, I think. Your weapon is lighting up while this is going on. Just so you know.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Damn, I was gonna do something. I should have done it, but I didn't.
Yeah. So, I mean, you wanted to fight your way in. Turns out you have to fight your way out.
I prefer that.
Maybe. We'll see what happens, I guess. So we'll go to break, take like 5-10 minutes. Go get yourself something to drink, go to the bathroom, go do all that good stuff. I love you guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes. let's see. Are you guys back yet?
I am.
Yep.
All right.
Here.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think so
Oh.
far?
He just muted himself.
Yeah, Ferdy's muted.
I think we're in danger.
Might be in some
Yep.
serious danger here. So, like, there was the possibility of like taking out the guards first, right? The people in the outside, and then going in, and like I don't know, like maybe kill the spiders, and then the other two that are coming up behind you, who you haven't even really interacted with yet, but they're there with the spiders. You should be able to see them, Fang. But yeah, let's just take on the whole dungeon at once, because that's what we like to do here on Forest of Flesh. When presented with a dungeon, we say, why do individual encounters when we can take on the entire dungeon at the same time? But it's okay. You guys have successfully done this before. I think you can do it again. We're about to find out. So, I guess we're gonna queue up fight music now. Indigo, your weapon of warning works, so you do have your like advantage on initiative or whatever stuffs. Okay. Let me pick out let's find a good combat song here.
I have the tiger.
Let's see here. Maybe. Yeah, we'll do this one. Alright, so let me get the turn order up, and let me clear it first before you guys start rolling. Okay. So just make sure you click your tokens when you roll your initiative. Click your token first. And I will do the same here. Boom. And then
Where'd Lumaki go?
He's above you.
Oh, when did you come in?
When Indigo told me to come in.
yeah, he did. He flew in a
Then
we
bit.
can-
Slade.
He did do that. Okay, so that was the. Okay, and then I got this one. The ones that are the same are gonna
Shako.
they're gonna go on
Oh,
the same
anything.
turn order. And then this one. Okay, so there's a lot. There's a lot of people here. It's a little crowded. Okay, so we got two of those, and one of those. Okay. So, if they're the same thing, they're going to go on the same turn order, and the leader gets to go first. Alright. So what happens here, Indigo? Like, when your weapon starts to glow, do you reach for it defensively as she, like, turns into this demonic creature?
Let me actually roll my initiative. It's supposed to have advantage, but I won't bother rolling the other one.
So Indigo does go first.
Yeah, so you're gonna go first. Alright. Okay. Alright, what do you do?
Indigo will back up to here. Everyone in the party is within 10 feet of me, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I will.
Here we go. I just want the audience to be able to see what's going on.
This is a little bit risky. I'll look around to the group. Do we want to get out of here?
Like outside? Sure.
No. What?
Do we want to go back to the entrance? Cut them off? Alright, you're all taking too long to decide. Come with me if you want. Can I cast teleport and try
Fang
to teleport
agrees.
everyone back to the entrance?
You went up to.
Right. Okay.
Back to the entrance we go.
Spell instantly teleports you and up to 8 willing creatures. Are you all willing or no? It sounds...
Yep.
Willing.
Fang is.
So is Sean.
So is Lumaki.
I guess so.
I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I suppose.
All right. So where specifically, Indigo? Like outside the entrance?
Specifically outside of the entrance.
Click at a space on the map.
Here, I'm gonna drag my token out because I can't see.
No. You're not supposed to be able to see. Click a space on the map.
I don't need to name coordinates.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a destination.
All right.
And then I roll to see how accurate it is.
Here, I'll just pull you guys all out.
And this lady isn't counter.
We do have to roll to see if we teleport accurately, though.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, let's
Let's read it. This is a very big thingy.
Yeah, it's a big high level spell here. So spell instantly transports you and up to 8 willing creatures of your choice that you can see within range, or a single object you can see within range, to a destination you select. If you target an object, it must be able to fit entirely inside a 10-foot cube and can't be held or carried, blah blah blah. The destination you choose must be known to you. It must be on the same plane of existence. Your familiarity with the destination determines whether you arrive there successfully. The GM, that's me, rolls a D100 and consults the table. Alright, so I gotta roll a D100. Let's do that.
You have seen once, I believe, is the category we're under.
Yeah. Alright, so here's your D100.
Or seen casually.
63. Alright, GM rolls D100, consults table. Familiarity, mishaps, similar area, off target, on target, permanent circle. I'm not sure. Very familiar.
Let me spoil it. It's off target.
How far off target are we talking?
It doesn't say. So if it's off target, you and your group appear a random distance away from the destination in a random direction. Distance off target is 1d10 times 1d10% of the distance that was to be traveled.
All right.
So we couldn't really be all that far off target. We only traveled 20 feet or something.
35. And it's well, it might say 40 depending. All right, and what's the off target is how much? 1d10 of.
So roll a percentile, and then it's that much off target. So if it's 50% off target of 35 feet,
it is 16% off target of 35. So it's only like
so
5
it's like
foot.
less than 5 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Should we pop out at the entrance-ish?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
it's such a short distance.
Here's the thing. Like that's where I was gonna put you if you were at the entrance, right? Yeah.
Shotguns in the pit.
Yeah. So like I could put you on the spike.
Okay.
Theoretically. If I'm gonna, I really wanted to put you in the pit, to be honest.
I think you roll a d8 to determine the direction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it says the GM determines the direction off target randomly by
okay.
rolling a d8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
1 is north, 2 is northeast, 3 is east, etc.
Yay.
What's
That
7?
Better.
7 is that way. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
North.
A little bit further up.
A little bit further up. Okay.
And then I will fly up again because I was on the ground before. So I'll fly up. Let's go 20 feet, and then. All right, let's start locking them in. And that's my turn.
All right.
Just don't lock us out. We need to get in there and destroy that thing.
Yes, but it's easier to kill them one by one.
In other words, Lumaki should go big and block the
Or go
entrance.
home.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, let's see here. It is now their turn.
We hear screeching from the inside.
Yeah.
They are upset that their prey has gotten away.
Yeah, they're very angry. Ooh. Oh man. Okay, so hang on, I gotta look at something. This might be pretty good. All right. There's something happens. Is it innate? It is not. Okay, so you hear a spell being cast. Alright. And that will do that for that one. Let's see here. And what is your okay? And then all right. Is that concentration? No? Really? That's cray. How is that not concentration? Alright. And then you get to do a whole bunch of other stuff here, so let me... Okay. That's the eye up there is just like staring at you guys. She like appear outside the place. And that is her turn, I think. Oh no, she does have. All right. Holy cow. Okay. That is her turn. Lumaki, you're up.
Okay, Lumaki's gonna take out his giant great club.
Okay.
And then he's going to gonna rage.
All right.
So I can go big, please.
Oh yeah. Okay. Here, let me do this so I can see Will.
As part of my rage, I get an extra 10 feet, or extra 20 feet of movement.
Okay.
I'm gonna quickly go in to see what's happening.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing's changed yet. They only the main one has had a turn. So
Right.
nothing would be different, right?
And then I'm gonna go to this eye, and I'm gonna smack it.
Alright, you're gonna smack the eye. Okay. You could do that. Make an attack roll. Alright, that's a hit. Okay. You smash the eye, I guess? I guess? Hang on. Let me see if I can even pull it to the other layer here, and then I'll put an X over it. There you go. You break it. You broke the eye. It closes. There's blood everywhere. There's eye chunks.
How far up in the air is Indigo?
Indigo, how far up in the air are you? Now, here's the other thing, right? Fang's on the ground, right? Or is Fang on Sha'ah?
Fang's on Sha'ah.
Fang's on Sha'ah.
Okay. And then Indigo's up in the air above them. Okay. Alright. How high up are you, Tim?
20 feet.
Okay.
Okay, then I will go directly in the middle of Indigo and the rest of the crew.
Alright.
That's it.
Under Indigo above us.
Yep.
Let me just check something. 5 foot, 5 foot. Can you show me just exactly where you went, really quick, Lumaki, when you hit the eye?
So I was right here, and back here. And that's 60 feet of movement.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. All right, you're fine. Okay. Fang.
Fang's just gonna ready their bow to shoot whatever comes within sight.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Held action. All right. Will.
Will moves forward, clanging his warhammer against the shield, making some noise.
All right.
And he will also hold an. I'm gonna hold a cantrip for when I see an enemy.
Okay. And then these things. All right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Easy. You guys think you outsmarted this thing. You didn't. All right, so they do that, and then you see, Will, right here at the edge of your vision, you see some of that yellow gas come around the corner.
I don't know where you're pinging. I think you're on the wrong layer. Here or over here?
Here.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a creature. I'll shoot at it.
All right. Let me see here.
If I can.
I'm trying. Yeah, so I'm trying to see. He's trying to. Poisonous way. Like, it doesn't say you can't. Like, it doesn't say it protects it from damage. It should, I think, but it doesn't. All right. Take your shot. 20, 23, 25. They all hit.
Just unclick this. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Okay.
Watch out for that mist.
And
So I can't stop it from going past.
all right. So they're not resistant to any of that, are they? It's all force damage now. So 8, 13 total. All right. Yeah, the mist like reacts to it. It spreads apart. You blast parts of the mist away. Yeah. It continues toward you. So that was it's there and then there. Okay. The other one. Let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 30, 20, 25. Okay. And then that's their turn. Sha'ah.
Alright, Sha'ah's gonna move forward. While Fang is on top of her. I shout from outside and beacon spider, and I tell the spiders, like, we will not harm you as long as you guys don't join the fight.
Yeah, that'll work.
We won't fight you unless we fight you.
Yeah.
And then I just like take out my mask of the one that I got. What is it called? Mask of the Beast, and then I just put it on. And then I'm gonna ready an action if I see a spider and cast a charge of animal friendship.
Nice.
And I stay here.
Nice. All right. All right. So you're readying animal friendship.
I don't want to be that guy. There's no layer actions, are there?
Why?
Because they would happen on initiative count 20, which we passed. So I was just trying to remind you if there are.
No, there's not.
Okay.
And also, like, technically, if there were, you're not in the layer anymore.
Sweet! Even better.
Yeah, so... like, if I was gonna do layer actions, it would be in the building, probably.
Well, at least we avoided that.
Alright. That your turn,
That's
Sha'ah?
like for my turn.
Okay. It is the Spooter's turn. Okay. Let's see here. Spooters. What is there? Alright. 5, 10, 15.
I see one.
Yeah, it's coming around the corner. It's not there yet. 15. 25. 30. I think it would end up right about there. It's on the ceiling. But yeah, you're welcome to do the thing if you're holding an action.
Or animal friendship.
Can't see anything.
I saw its leg earlier when it moved here.
I saw the legs here, too.
Yeah, it was sticking through the wall when it was going from right to left there. You can't see anything at all, Fang, or you just...
Not right
this,
now.
This arrow
Just the
here
line.
is a line of what I can see.
Oh, yeah, it's just outside of that.
Yeah. And I keep getting moved around because I crawled onto Sha'ah's back, so I was like, Okay.
This is the life of.
It does.
Okay.
Definitely crawling off.
It does still have its dash, I think.
Okay.
So, if so, what's your animal friendship thing?
Let's cast it. One charge.
Oh, I see. So it's 3 charges. All right. Okay. Animal friendship. Convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Choose a beast that you can see. It must see and hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, its intelligence is a 2. The spell fails.
Wisdom
Okay.
save.
Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom save or be charmed by you for the duration. All right. Doesn't have anything that stops it from being charmed. So here's a wisdom save. It is going to fail. That is a failure. Charmed by you for the spell's duration, so up to 24 hours. Is it
Don't want to
concentration?
attack you.
It's not concentration, is it either?
No, it's not.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
While this is happening, Indigo is gonna say, "Lure them all out. I have a plan."
Wait, you're killing my spider friends?
Yeah, this is the one that you fed too, by the way. It actually is. Just so you know. So yeah, it's charmed. You got it.
Okay.
So you're
Cool.
like, hey, don't hurt us. We're friendly to spiders. We don't want to hurt the spiders. And the spider's like, okay, you're a friend. You feed me more of those berry things.
I still have more.
Just nasty
Yeah.
berry things that it did not want more of.
We are double agent. We are spider.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, it can still attack your friends though, right?
Yeah, I can. But I'm telling him to be friendly.
I mean, maybe a persuasion roll or something? With
Yeah.
advantage because he's charmed?
Yeah, that's true. It'd be like an action, I think. But yeah, you can do that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You got this spider. He's like, all right, I'm your friend. I'm coming to get more food.
Sha'ah did say, I think, when he was readying the spell, we won't hurt you if you don't hurt us or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's not doing anything yet. It's not gonna like attack Will on the way by or anything like that. It actually isn't. I'm not being sarcastic. Okay. All right. Is that your turn? Or sorry,
Yep.
that was the
It's there.
that
One
was the spider's
turn.
turn. Yeah.
Yeah, that was his reaction.
He's got more
Yep.
movement, so why not use it? 5, 10, 15. You're right there, right? Where are you?
Who,
where are
me?
you? Sha'ah.
Oh, Shaw's underneath Fang.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
So-
Yeah.
Fang doesn't know what spider that was cast upon, and I hate to do this, but Fang would have shot when
Yeah, you were speaking in spider, and the rest of us don't know spider?
So where,
don't hurt the spiders after.
where do you shoot it, Fang? Can you see it there?
yeah, I see it there.
All right. I just didn't want to give you disadvantage unless I had to. So you could shoot it. You could shoot it there.
Yeah,
You shoot it
sorry. Fang also doesn't know which spider, so as far as Fang knows, this one's still coming, so it's still a dangerous one.
Yeah. 23 hits. For 8 total.
8.
Yeah.
Alright. And it's not dead. So that's good. Okay.
Now the animal friendship is gone.
Yeah. Yeah, the animal friendship is gone. And now it's going to attack Will.
Unless
dash,
you
though.
declare right now that Fang is not your friend.
I thought it dashed.
Technically,
Oh,
Fang
gosh.
would have shot
Yeah,
first.
It did
if-
dash. It did dash. You're right. Yeah. So it can't
technically,
attack
if Sha'ah and Fang would have seen it at the same time, Fang would have shot first because Fang had the ready to action first. But yeah.
Will. It can continue moving though.
It can.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put it right there.
Sadly, I can't actually body block it.
Yeah, because it's bigger, right?
It's bigger than me. Yeah.
Okay, that's the extent of its movement. The other one,
So I assume it's on like. Is there like a? Is it on the ceiling part of the entrance, or is it on the floor?
well,
yeah, it was on the ceiling, wasn't
it
it?
was on the ceiling. I think maybe when it gets to like here, yeah, it's fair. Maybe it crawls along
It
the.
probably dropped.
It could just.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
it's
It's
20 feet up.
20
So
feet,
if it
yeah.
dropped, it would have taken all damage.
It would have
but
to
yeah.
crawl down the side, I
Okay.
think, or it could be like right here and just be on the side of the wall or something, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just.
That's fine. I'll bring it. I mean, you're gonna kill it like as soon as you try to.
Oh, yeah.
So. All right, the other one. 5, 10, 15, 25,
Hurry, bend it so we
30.
can shoot it.
And then it's gonna dash 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. It gets to right there. It doesn't get as close. It went the other way, so. Or it was closer to go the other way. Alright. That's their turn. Now these folks here, let's see. They also know animal friendship. That's funny. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Let's take a look at this. All right. So this one is going to run up to 5, 10, 15, 25. Gets to right there. Can see you all over here. And
I don't think they can see Fang and Sha'ah. It goes through the wall, but they
yeah,
can see me.
Yeah, they can see you. That's fine. They don't. What they're about to do just requires a point they can see.
Oh well, never mind.
20-foot radius sphere.
I tried.
So let me do that.
Oh,
20-foot radius is a 40-foot diameter.
Or darkness.
It's not darkness.
Huh?
That's 20. It is insect plague. That's
Oh,
Oh god.
20.
haven't seen that in a while.
30.
Same thing.
Yeah, except for it also does damage.
Yep. Okay, so centered on a point you choose within range. Let me make sure that was their full distance here. Which was right there. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to move her a little bit. I want to get the range a little bit better. 25, 30. And then she's going to target it like somewhere up here, I think. Let's do snap to corner. Actually, let's do no snap. Let's do no snap. Because, yeah, she could see. She could see up to like anywhere in there. So I want to center it somewhere around in there. That's why I wanted to do that, because I want to try to get all you guys in this. I can definitely
Wait, we'll
do
get the spiders at least.
that. Well, not if she puts it... We'll get one of the spiders for sure. But that's okay, they can summon more.
She can't see the center. She can't see where it's centered now.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It has to be centered where she could see.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be over here somewhere, or well,
Right there, I think, would do it, yeah? That's the center?
anywhere in there. Yeah,
Like right in here somewhere? Even
could
like...
be anywhere.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty good line of sight.
I could even like move it back one, I think, and put it like right there.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so insect plague. Let's see here. Let's see here. Show description. Okay, so 20-foot sphere. Swarming, biting locust. Fill a 20-foot radius sphere. Looking point you choose. Spreads around corners. Sphere remains for the duration. Its area is lightly obscured. Difficult terrain. When the area appears, each creature in it must make a con save. Creature takes 40, 10 piercing on a fail and half as much on a success. The DC is low. It's 14.
+5 for everybody in the green.
4d10.
Oh no. Okay. Just enough.
Alright.
Uh-oh. Wait, yeah, that's still enough.
Is that everybody? 1, 2, 3. That's only 4, right? Who didn't roll?
Indigo.
Indigo.
Tim. Con save, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Do the spiders have to roll?
They will, yeah.
Yes.
They're gonna die, but they can roll a con save, sure. Yeah, because you can't not hit friendly. It hits everything.
+5 and roll your d4. I mean, with
We're
the
fine.
d4, you pass it away.
Okay.
Is he? No, he's
Exactly
outside the
enough.
radius. He's outside the radius.
Oh.
So he only gets.
Indigo is?
Yeah, look at him on the map. He's outside.
Oh,
your...
And
he's
20 feet up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What about Lumaki? How high up are you right now?
Less.
Was
He
in
was below
between
Indigo.
Will and
Okay.
I was like 5 feet above him.
All right. So Indigo, you fail. So you're gonna take full damage from this. Everyone else.
Wait, what?
Indigo
No,
fail.
he hits 15 because he gets +5 from me.
No, he's outside your radius.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was
Okay.
thinking you were talking about the radius of the
Indigo-
insect plague. Wow. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my brain. Yeah. He fails.
Yeah, he's out. He's
Doesn't
out.
get the +5.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly. So you're gonna take full damage. Everyone else takes half, and it's just 40-10 piercing. So here's that. 19.
Oh.
Not much. Not a lot. Let's see.
Oh.
Here.
So half.
Half of 19 is
9 or 10?
It'd be 9. Round down.
9,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then I get half of that also because I'm raged.
Yes, that is true. Well, yeah. Your rage gives you resistance to. Is it any kind?
Bludgeoning.
Piercing.
Any kind of bludgeoning, piercing, or is it just non-magical? I don't know. How does that work? 'Cause if it's
I
magical.
think it's any kind. Let's see.
Just says bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. Yeah. So you have
Yep.
resistance. Okay. And that's her action and movement.
Indigo. Wait, is anyone concentrating on a spell?
No.
Not yet.
I'm
Okay,
not.
cool.
And she doesn't have anything for bonus action, so that's her turn. There is another one of them, though. So let me take their turn. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. And then, I mean, I can kind of see you from there. I'm not going to lie. Let me see if I can trace a line to you. You're just barely safe from that wall. So I'll dash. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Also, that insect thing, it stays going, right? Okay, so spiders. I gotta damage the spiders. So, con. That was a con save, right? One of them fails. I guess it'd be this one. So it takes the full 19 and dies. Because it only had 18 health. The other one succeeds, so it takes 9 damage. And it is not dead. Alright. Alright.
Very important question.
Yeah.
Sha'ah has speak with animals going. Is the insect cloud saying anything?
Right. I was gonna ask what kind of insect they were.
They're biting locusts. That's what they are. So they're just like, oh, we're gonna eat everything. We got all this shit. It's just like a bunch of that. That's what you hear. It's just like a bunch of locusts.
I feel like Sha'ah should have to roll a sanity check.
Yeah, and it's like millions of voices at once, right? So it's probably a little bit overwhelming. Everybody else just hears the screeching sound of locusts. But yeah, they're celebrating. They're like, they can't wait to just tear all this food apart. All right. It dashed. It got to there. That seems correct. Indigo, you're up. Tim?
I will go ahead and the red thing is the radius of the locusts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's also difficult terrain, and it's lightly obscured.
I will fly 1, 2, 3. So that's 30. And then pass a. Gotta double check if I need to be able to see. Range that until. Okay. The way that this is worded.
Wait.
Can I summon that?
Let me check and make sure you don't take a damage again at the start of your turn.
Okay.
Ends its turn there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, can I summon the spiritual weapon inside?
I think it has to be a place you can see.
It just says within range.
Does it link the?
The spell is weird.
I did.
Spiritual weapon. Yeah, link the spell description so we can.
I
take
did.
It's right there above. Yeah.
Sorry, I was scrolled up. Okay, you create a flowing spiritual weapon within range that lasts for the duration. Yeah, when you cast a spell. Why does it say target C text? Okay. Against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. You don't have to see the creature. Alright. Alright. I think you can.
It does have disadvantage if you can't see the creature, though, I believe.
I think that's how we were ruling it when he was using it against the things that we couldn't look at. Was he was getting disadvantage on the attacks, but
When you cast spell.
So theoretically, could I summon it in the room with the brain?
I mean, you could, yeah.
Okay. I will summon it in the room with the brain above the brain.
Okay. What does your spiritual
Casting
weapon
the
look
5th
like?
level. It is a drum.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
some
right.
drumsticks.
That's right. Okay.
63.
All right.
Upcast to 5th level, so it.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to pull it. I'm trying to
Or
pull it
to.
onto.
Hang on, wait.
I'm trying to pull it onto the map.
Hang on. So I'll do 6th. It's because it's double. Yeah, for each level. It's 2. So it'll be 6. And
He used all his
then I'll go
movement
ahead
to
and
get
make
out of
an
that.
attack. I do need to recode it because I leveled up. It's
All right. So you got the drum in the room with the brain, and you're gonna have it attack the brain. Is that right?
and this should be.
Gonna give it a drumming.
I just have to recode how much damage this attack does really quickly because I
It's like-
leveled up.
It's like my migraine the other week.
And okay, that should be it now. Disadvantage. On the brain?
Yeah, that's a hit.
We're going to see if this is coded right. I don't know.
What the fuck is
3d8.
0.49 times 4?
So
Yay.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Half of 4. Yeah, so wait, it's 5th level, so half of 4, I guess.
it's 6th level, so it should be 3d8 total.
0.5 times
It should
4
just be the 3d8. The higher level casting does not apply.
Okay. Alright. 15. Alright. You deal
Okay, sure.
15 damage to the brain. Sure.
And that is my turn. I guess I can dodge with my action, because I haven't used my action yet, so I'll dodge.
Yeah, the ground ripples. You see more air get pushed out from the openings to the dungeon. Yeah. I mean, it seems to, like, the building reacts. Okay.
And that's my turn.
Alright. Boss's turn. Okay. So you're how many feet up?
I'm 20 feet up and dodging.
Alright. Lumaki, how many feet up are you?
5 feet off the ground.
15 feet off the ground.
5 feet off the ground.
5 feet. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Is it an action?
If she is invisible, she is not invisible.
It's not invisibility, actually.
Okay.
It is.
Just making sure.
It is something else. It's a little bit more OP. It's a 7th level spell.
Ooh. Okay.
Does anyone have True Sight?
No.
I do have the tremor sense if there's someone walking.
Well, they're on the ethereal plane, is the thing.
Yeah, I don't think I can sense that plane. Less out of my experience.
Yeah. She cast etherealness.
Damn. Oh, we don't know that, but yeah.
Yeah. So she can basically, like, I'm trying to see if she has to use an action to dismiss it. Yeah, she does. Okay. She does have bonus action stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you ignore all objects and effects that are not on the ethereal plane. So, you guys don't see it, but we cut to the boss, and she's just like walking between all you guys and the insects, and just like watching everything. Like you guys don't see her. She's just like walking through you guys. You know, all that stuff. Just watching what's going on. Do I want her to drop it? I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say no. Not yet. Alright. That is her turn. I guess she could, like, hold an action or something to attack you if she had to.
Mm-hmm.
Lumaki, you're up.
5, 10, 15. Oh, look at all these nice people here. I'm going to bonus action. Tunnel Fighter.
Defensive
And I
stance.
will attack this guy.
Alright. Yeah, you have 15-foot reach, right?
Actually, I have 10-foot reach right now, so I'm going in one more.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I'm using the different weapon.
Yeah, 10 foot, I guess. I mean, it's kind of through a wall, don't you think? Like, I don't like. I
Oh,
would.
you're trying to hit the one in white?
What space is he in? Because from
There's-
here,
Yeah, but there's a
Oh, it
wall.
shows them one right
There-
here on mine.
There's a wall here. Well, the guy's standing in this square, right?
how about
Yeah,
this?
He is?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You could definitely
Mine's messed up.
do it from there. Yeah. Go for it.
Or she is, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, it's when you end your turn. So, sorry, who went before you? Indigo?
Indigo, but he's outside of it.
Yeah, okay. All right, go ahead. Take a swipe.
Big swipe.
A 18.
18.
18 does not hit.
Okay. Then reckless.
All right. 18, or no, it's 28,
No,
right?
28.
Now they'll have advantage when they attack you because you're reckless, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you hit with that one for 29 damage.
Holy shit.
It's a pretty good hit. Okay.
Now, is that the one with the insect plague up?
Sorry?
Is that the one with the insect plague up?
It is, yeah. So they have to roll a concentration check. And the DC is 14.
Yeah.
Con save. Well, I rolled it in private. It was a 10. So that's a fail. And the insect plague disappears.
Nice.
Good job. Good job.
Hey.
Pass. Now your bugs are gone. Take that. For me.
All right. Fang.
They all scream as they disappear.
Fang is going to bonus action go invisible,
All right.
and then is going to shoot the one that they can see.
Okay. Does it make you visible again when you shoot?
It does not. This is an invisible as a condition, not as per the spell.
Okay.
So that
Advantage.
Advantage.
Get advantage and
Yes.
sneak attack.
And sneak.
yeah, I'm trying to go through and toggle all the things. All right. Here's the first hit.
A
20.
20 hits.
Cool. And when I do that, I am going to apply
This is the lady you're shooting, by the way. I don't think I
Oh,
showed that
jeez.
one earlier. So.
Yeah. Ooh, she looks
Um,
nice.
so I will apply favored foe on that hit.
All right. When you hit a creature, you can call on your one. Okay. First time that you hit a favorite enemy, deal damage.
Including
Including when you
and
mark
it includes when I mark it. So
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that was applied before I did the damage roll.
All right. So 7, 14, 15 total.
15. Yep.
All right. It is bloodied, I think. Yeah.
All the bonuses go away, but I still have advantage because I'm invisible. And
24
24.
hits. You don't get sneak attack this time.
No, I do not.
9. All right.
Yep.
All right.
And then I am going to move. I didn't like the bug thing, so I'm gonna go move closer to Indigo.
It's
That's
gone.
it.
Okay.
Huh?
What were you gonna say?
The bugs are gone.
It's gone.
Yeah,
I
think
know,
she's just saying
but just in
it could
case
happen
they
again.
cast it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They totally could cast it again.
Yeah.
All right. Will.
Are you on the floor, Lumaki, or are you in the air still?
Yeah, still.
Sweet, there's room. Okay.
You're still invisible, Fang?
Yes, until the start of my next turn, I believe.
Okay.
Start.
Yeah, start.
Yeah. Is this spider on the ceiling or on the floor?
Floor.
Floor. Of course it is. Well, then... I don't really want to hang back. Badly. Yeah, yellow. Willow's gonna charge in underneath Lumaki. Well, I guess I really don't want to charge so much as just move forward 5 feet. And I'm going for that thing.
All right.
Swinging away with the warhammer. I do have 10 feet of reach.
Okay.
And there was a thing. There's a thing I'm supposed to do beforehand. What is it that I'm forgetting? I know I'm forgetting something. Oh, Hex. Oh, cast Hex on it.
All right.
That's what I was forgetting.
Let's see here. There we go.
And then I will take my swings.
Go for it. Hit.
18? Okay.
For, dang. 23 plus another 6, 29. Let me see if there are no weaknesses, huh? Okay. 29. Alright.
And then for the second one, I will probably not smite because I missed.
Critically fail. Why don't you go ahead and hit Lumaki? He's kind of big and in the
Sorry
way.
about Lumaki.
If you, yeah, I guess you don't have to smite him if you were going to smite, because that's still something you can choose to do on a hit, right?
Yeah, it's optional. Okay.
All right. So
Or
15.
well, he takes half of the bludgeoning.
Yeah.
So 15 plus 3, 18 damage.
18 damage
Sorry about that,
to
Lumaki.
Lumaki. A little bit of friendly fire. Hey, it's not Ella this time.
Oh wait, it's actually less. It's 15 because I had Hex on that, and Hex is on the creature,
Oh,
so he
okay.
wouldn't get the Hex damage. So it's only 15.
Okay. All right.
And Will just sorry.
Hey,
my
keep
turn.
going.
That's it for me. I'm done.
All right. Now it's the Yakalal's turns. Let's see here. Dex, okay. Creature. Alright. Alright, let's see here. Okay, we're gonna cast Dominate Person on Lumaki. I think that's what we're gonna do. So here we go, Lumaki.
I'm Faye.
Sorry? Oh, you're what? You're what? You're immune to
He's
charm.
not a humanoid. He's not a humanoid.
Oh, okay. They would know that. They would know
Yeah.
that. All right. Maybe not. Maybe I will cast something else. Or try to punch you. Let's see.
And if there was a humanoid, I'm also immune to charm, so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Why don't we just punch you?
Okay.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm. Alright. Here's that. It does have multi-attack, so it gets 2 attacks with advantage. Here's the first one.
That hits.
25. You do still take the poison. The poison applies when it's not in spider form. But it's bludgeoning instead of piercing damage, which you have resistance to. So,
Either way, yeah.
2 plus 17 poison. This is the reason why she was trying to touch Indigo, is because they poison you on contact. So, let's take another swing. 17. Does 17 hit you, Lumaki?
Nope. Nope.
Alright. The other one. 5, 10, 15, 20. Same thing. Here's from them. Advantage. So that's 19. Does that hit? I'll just look. 18. So that does hit, right?
Yep.
Ooh, that was a good roll. 2 bludgeoning damage with your resistance, and then 27 poison.
I used my reaction to make an attack this guy instead.
Make an attack which guy?
This guy.
This guy?
Yep.
When rune emulates deceptive magic, use and carrying an object, describe this, you get advantage on sleight of hand checks. When you are a creature you see within 30 feet is hit by an attack roll, you can use a reaction to invoke the rune and choose a different creature within 30 feet of you. Other than the attacker, the chosen creature becomes the target of the attack. Using the same roll, this magic can transfer the attack's effects regardless of the attack's range. Once you invoke the rune, you can't do it until you finish a short or long rest. Alright. So that one does not have resistance to poison or anything, so it would take the full damage and die.
31.
It dies.
Nice.
It had 21 health left. Alright, that's going to try to attack you again. That's a crit.
Silvery barbs.
You make me re-roll it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
Probably still hit, but at least
23
it might be a crit.
That hits.
for 1 bludgeoning damage and 24 poison, so 25.
That would have been some nasty crit poison.
It
Yep.
would. Let's see how much it would be.
Yeah.
Would have been 45 damage and poison. So, good use. Alright. That is the Yakalal's turns. Sha'ah. You are up, Sha'ah.
Cool. Okay. Shaw's
Spider
gonna have.
things, it's just
Yeah, I'm gonna move closer to another spider and then chit chat with it. Like, hey, we're not gonna attack you. And then I speak in common. Guys, don't attack this spider.
You haven't,
He's learned.
you haven't charmed this one, though.
I didn't, but I
He's
can still
about to.
speak with it. And then I'm just gonna be like, just run away. I don't really want to hurt you. I just want to hit this thing.
Yeah, okay.
I can't reach.
Yeah, you can't run by it. You can't move into that square.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, you can, because you're smaller than it, right?
Mhm.
That's
No,
that's
it doesn't work that
true.
way.
Doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It can move into your
I-
space, but you can't move into its space.
I
Right.
think
It's
technically
difficult
it has to
terrain.
be 2 sizes larger than you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
otherwise it's difficult terrain.
Oh. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, okay, don't attack me, okay? I move here.
You're telling it not to attack. You're like, hey, you're just speaking its language.
Right.
Yeah, it tries to bite at you when you step out of its reach. I mean, it's not going to listen to you. It's got orders to kill you guys now. So here's that. 19.
Right.
Okay, this is so funny. These things are CR ones. Okay, just to let you know. All right, so 9 piercing and 12 poison damage. I need a con save. You'd probably be fine.
On save.
Got a plus
11?
5. You probably can't fail. Oh my god.
I
You
fail.
Okay.
Hey, I
You
thought we
gotta
were
be
friends.
kidding me!
So you take
Even with the +5 and that D4.
yeah.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
The highest he would get is a 10.
so you take the full damage, 9 piercing, 12 poison. You take that. And
then he drops to 0.
Minus 21.
if the poison damage reduces the target to zero.
Oh, okay. I misread that. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
I was making sure because I thought it might be that kind of poison too. But yeah, so taking poison damage on a failed save, half as much on a success. If the poison damage reduces the target to 0, the target is stable but poisoned for 1 hour, even after regaining hit points. Oh, and
So I'm not poisoned.
and is paralyzed while poisoned in this way. It does say that at the end.
That's if you fall. to
Okay.
0.
Yeah, I
Okay.
play 0.
Okay, fair enough. Alright. So, you're good. You just took a little bit of extra damage.
Yeah.
You get
I'm gonna
slowed.
attack this thing.
The Yaklaw? Alright.
Yeah. Alright. Hit it with my punch.
One of them that's the one that's a toxic mist right now, I think. But, yeah, that hits. Okay, 13 force damage, alright.
And then my Fey Hounds will bite it. So 15.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna attack again.
That hits. For another 11.
I'm gonna use one of my key points to do a stunning strike.
Okay. Con save
DC 18.
from the Yaklaw. Okay. That is a 23.
Alright. I'm gonna use my bonus action for extra turn. And then attack the other one.
Alright, so you're attacking this one now.
Mhm.
Hit. For 8.
Another stunning strike on that one.
Alright.
So I use 2.
That is
Yes.
a fail. It has magic resistance, but that doesn't help the stunning strike. Alright. Yeah, so that one's stunned.
Did I attack those? I'm sorry. I still have one more attack.
You attacked 1, 2, 3 times? You attacked 3 times, yeah. Okay. Which one are you attacking now?
Same one. That's stunned. Because it has advantage.
Okay, yeah, so you crit. Or no, I'm sorry, you don't crit. You
No,
hit,
not
you
crit.
hit for 13. Okay.
And that's it.
Alright. Good turn. Alright, the spider that just tried to bite you.
Well, tried and succeeded.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see here. We're gonna attack. It's a ranged attack.
I give it like a sad puppy dog eyes. Not to attack me. Please don't attack me.
Nah, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna bite somebody. Alright, why not bite, why not try to bite, we'll try to bite Lumaki here.
I'm right there too, and I'm on the ground. He's up in the air.
That's true. Alright, we'll bite you.
Alright. Ooh. Does he have advantage?
I don't see why he would. That's
Damn,
why
he doesn't hit.
That's why I wanted to bite Lumaki, to be honest with you.
I mean,
Advantage.
you can play Lumaki if you want. I was just offering myself up. You don't have to attack me.
No, it's fine.
I mean, it still wouldn't have hit.
Well, you were reckless.
Well, he would have advantage on you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. So, but no, it's fine. He misses. Okay. Now,
Bites
This-
at my plating.
this one gets to go. We're gonna move her to here. And she's gonna cast a spell, I guess. Let's see here. That spell sucks. Let's just do another insect plague, shall we? "40-foot diameter.
You hitting your friends?
The spider. The spider, sure.
Yeah, he can just choose a spot right here and
Yeah. I mean, they can always
so on
summon.
and so forth.
They can always summon more spiders. Like, they don't care about them. 20, 30, 40. So we can.
Whoops.
Are you okay? Did you survive that?
I knocked something down.
Yeah, like a
I knocked a can down.
tower of cans. I think we're gonna put it.
No, it just bounced.
I think we're gonna put it like right here. No, not right there. Right. I kind of want to get. Kind of want to get the people that are outside involved in this. Just to be honest, I kind of would like to do that.
Smart foes attack the back line.
Yeah, but I can't do that without either getting Sha'ah out of it or getting the Yoklals in it. Right? You know what? We'll get the Yoklal in it. That's fine. Yoklal can handle it. Oh, I linked that to myself by accident. So as a DC 14 con save, the roll was 23 piercing damage. It showed on stream, so you guys want to see it. Make your con saves.
Just
I think I
18 for me.
pass.
Make sure that she can see the center of that. Yeah, I think so. I think she'll be able to see anywhere in that area. Okay, yeah, you're good, Will. You're good, Lumaki. You'll only take half damage, half of 23, so it's like 11 damage for the two of you, and it's piercing damage, so you're resistant, Lumaki. Fang fails.
Wait, what is this?
Insect plague.
It's another insect plague.
Oh, it's another. Okay.
It's another insect plague. You called it earlier, I believe. So you take the full 23 damage.
Yep. I was gonna say I'm invisible. They wouldn't know to cast it there, but they also wouldn't want to cast it on themselves, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, they kind of did cast it on themselves. On one Yawklaw, at least. But they know that some of you are outside. Indigo's out there flying around, so he takes the damage too. Unless you're not more than 40 feet off the ground, so.
I'm just 20 off.
Yeah.
Let me make the save.
Alright, you still take half. Half damage. And let's see, we moved 10 feet
Well-
to get there. So I think we're gonna move.
What was the damage?
It was 23 total. So half
Okay.
if you succeeded. Full 23.
I did not.
Failed, so so we'll move back now because we don't want to lose concentration on it this time. 5, 10, 15. We moved 10, so that's 25. We'll go here. 30. Right. Indigo.
I will go ahead and move out. And then fly up 20 feet to 40 in the air.
Alright.
And then I will dash and fly up another 30 to 70.
Alright. Yeah, you're 70 feet
And then
up.
I'll swing again with my spiritual weapon.
Alright. Make an attack roll with the spiritual weapon. 17. That hits.
Six.
Nice.
For another. Just the 10, right?
No, I recoded it. It should be right now. So this is all this damage because it's showing.
It was 3d8 last time, and now it rolls.
It's 3D.
No, it's 1d8 and 2d8. Yeah, so it's still 3d8.
Okay. Okay. So 22. Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
All right.
Last time.
All right. The same thing happens where the building like breathes out a bunch of air, and you kind of hear like a groan sound. The ground ripples again. The Yawklaws seem to screech in unison with this, and so does the priestess over here that you can see. She grabs her head and groans in pain. And that is Indigo's turn.
The Yawklaw and the spider have to roll for damage.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Con.
And we're like 3 minutes away from.
Yeah. And
And it's top of the round, so we might want to wait here.
Spider. They both succeed, so they take half. It should be 11. And
I guess Indigo went. Oops.
all right. Do you guys want to end the session here?
Yes.
I would
please.
prefer to because if I wait any longer, I'm gonna miss dinner.
All right. Go get dinner. Thanks for playing, guys. Good game. I guess we'll see you guys next week, and we'll see how this wraps up. The boss hasn't even entered the fight yet. So,
Yeah.
Can we go over
Alright.
experience real quick?
Sure. Everyone can get 3 XP for RP. You haven't finished the encounter yet, so you can't get experience for that. Let's see here.
I nominate Tim for that epic escape.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I think Tim gets 3 XP for teleporting you guys out of that
I
death
didn't know
trap.
he could do that. He didn't tell us he could do that.
Yeah, definitely give him 3 XP for that. I'm trying to think if there's something else maybe that happened. No, I think that was the play of the game for sure.
Can I nominate Sha'ah for trying to befriend the spiders
Oh,
and feeding
yeah.
the spider and
Sure.
Feeding them.
Sadly, Fang killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
It's probably why the other one attacked you. It's like, no, I just saw you say we want to attack you, and then my buddy died.
To be fair, Fang attacked but did not kill. It was their own
Oh,
ally
right.
that ended up killing.
The locust killed it.
Yeah, they'll just make more spiders. They don't really need them. They're not super important.
How much was it to Sha'ah for that?
We're gonna do another +3 to Sha'ah. So Sha'ah
Okay.
and Indigo get 6. Everyone else gets 3. Now, if you guys, same thing goes for the other shows. So what I'm doing with the other show is, if someone clips out like a less than 1 minute segment, sends it to me, you get extra experience. So you can always do that. I'll give you guys 2 XP for that. Everyone can do it every game if you want to. If you like find out.
How do you clip out? How do you clip out stuff?
So you can go to the show on Twitch, you can go to the video on Twitch, and you can clip stuff as it happens. So like if you got the video up on Twitch in the bottom right, there should be a clip button. You can clip stuff there. Or if you can't figure out how to do that, you can always just be like, it starts at this timestamp, and I want it, and just tell me what the moment is. Just has to be something that is either less than a minute long or something I can edit down to less than a minute long. I'll accept that too. And then I'll count it. You can get 2 XP each time you do that. You have the opportunity to do it every session if you want to. And we've had some funny videos come out of it. Some funny TikTok. The last one that went up on TikTok was from the Broken Show. It got 220 views. So just a little funny thing that happened at the end of the game.
I've got to head out, but night, guys.
Good night, man.
Hey,
Have a good
Tim.
night. Thanks for
Good night.
playing. Thanks for
Night.
watching, guys. Saw Unrooted in the chat. Always good to see you here. Hope everybody has a fantastic week and a wonderful night. What we're going to do tonight, I think, is I'm going to try to find somebody to raid. I don't know how to raid. I've only done it like once or twice, but I think that's what I would like to try to do, is maybe like find somebody, if there's somebody streaming from the institution, and send you guys over there. So let me just let me figure out how to do that. And send you guys. Let me turn the stream off. There, I was hearing my own stream. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if we got anybody online. I see Negatron is live. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can send you guys over to Negatron here. Negatron's a pretty cool guy. He's super friendly. He does cosplay stuff. Like he was just making a Mega Man Zero helmet that turned out really good. Plays a lot of retro games. He was playing one of the old school Mega Man games recently, and was playing like Final Fantasy VII, and I think he was playing another Final Fantasy game. I know he's playing the remake, and he's always playing stuff. So let me just see how to raid on Twitch. I don't know how to do that. Just follow by the name of the channel. Okay, that's easy. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to send you guys over there. /raid. And the channel name. And thank you guys all for watching this week. Check out one of our friends from the institution. Show them some love. And we'll see you guys back same time next week. Everybody take care. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.